better know.
Okay. Okay. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You'll have to forgive us. Last time on Time Delvers, you went through most of the dungeon.
We did.
You've got to the final room.
We did.
But before the final room, you defeated a Grave Titan.
We did.
You discovered various different rooms with different names, belongings, plants, syringes. I'm trying to think what else you found.
Those titany things.
Yeah, they were guarding doors.
Yeah.
They allowed you through. And you were about to walk through the final room.
Yes, I can't remember if I took an emerald or anything.
I think these two took the orbs.
Okay.
You got an orb each, so you control the chronomancers.
Nice.
But they're technically following Viola's orders currently.
Because we haven't attuned to it yet.
And you took one of the smaller ones.
I did I?
And Viola has said she was going to keep the big one on her. There's 4 small amulets because you've got 4 boxes. I think I wrote 4.
Yeah.
So you got 4, 2, 1 basically.
4, 2, and 1.
Yeah.
So who took the shield guardian?
Viola's currently holding.
Viola's got the big thing.
Yeah.
Cool. You two have got the chronomancers.
And then you've got 4.
I've got one of the animated armors then. Okay.
And you didn't want one because
metal.
Well, not just metal. I would allow you to use it, but it's not very druids. No.
Work.
I say
you've
acting like a druid.
You're a dragon. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's amazing. Ron is good.
Right. Okay. So, as we go through the final door, what you see in front of you, is a very plain room. There's not a whole lot in here. Okay. Gathering dust, as the other previous rooms.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very trodden at all either. Like the other rooms had some movement in it. It was known that there was someone here previously. This room is pretty barren.
Okay.
For the exception of a large box in the centre of the room.
Let's go and have a look.
Which is roll perception.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What kind of box?
Roll
is it?
perceptions.
Wooden? Okay.
Wooden, metal, any of the above.
Oh.
I don't even have dice out yet.
Wow.
And for the purposes of what may or may not happen, I'll have to draw this room.
18.
20.
Do you have a pen?
I don't know where the good pen has gone at the moment.
That's alright, I forgive you, we'll use our imagination.
Yeah. I have coloured pens for the time being.
No, you're alright. No imagination.
No, that's fine.
What, don't you want to use your imagination? Oh, I've got to fucking draw this shit now.
We do that all, we use imagination all the time. Need some realism, some gritty realism.
30, 20.
Hang on.
15.
Yeah.
This
Nice,
is
good
the big.
dirty 20.
This is the big command room that opens.
Oh no.
I mean,
The squares is still 10 by 10, okay?
Cool.
It wouldn't be that big, but it'd be in the centre, so it'd be like this. And you came through this doorway, there's a doorway here, and there's no other doorway.
Okay, cool. Ooh, shit.
Perception check, sorry.
15.
18.
Dirty 20.
11.
Okay, so we'll start off with those below 15, which were you two.
I was not below 15, I was 15.
Oh, so it was only just you.
Just heroes.
So you'll see the basics. Actually, you've not experienced this before, so I can't even just say similar to a previous thing you've seen.
Oh.
You've experienced some death. This looks like a very odd-looking casket.
Okay.
If I were to describe it, I'll draw this as well.
Oh.
I remember this. I think.
So is it standing upright, is it?
Yes.
Jesus, that's like a
Do you want mine already?
60-foot casket.
No, this is just a general idea. So,
Is that size to scale?
no,
There's a Tarrasque.
there's a rat in it.
Shit, relentless.
That's Tarrasque.
So,
That's a coffin though, not a casket.
Oh, here we go. Oh, shit.
Bitch, shut up.
Yeah, that's a coffin, not a casket.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do actually. I do actually. A coffin is that shape. The
That's a
casket
coffin.
is rectangular.
Oh my
Casket
god. I just remembered you put an emo poster.
Yes, she
about
did.
it, yeah.
What a meme.
Yes,
A
she
meme.
did.
Maybe it was an emo post. So
I googled
this
it,
is standing
correct.
upright like this.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
casket.
So what you see is a casket. It looks like to be made out of some sort of metal.
A coffin
Nice.
or a casket?
What do you think it is?
That looks like a coffin.
Fine, a coffin. A coffin made out of mostly metal. There are elements of wood, but not much. For the rest of you who've had a 15, beyond the casket or what's in the casket, you see what looks like an odd-looking window,
Oh, shit.
and behind it you see a silhouette of a face.
What defines as an odd-looking window?
It's just a window basically, but it's like
So,
bolted on into the.
As if to be able to look
Into the-
What do I
at
see
any
through
point.
it?
It's like a display.
You don't
display
see. You don't
case.
see it. Because you're here, everyone's about 10, 15, 20,
I-
25, 30.
So I wouldn't have seen a coffin or a casket before.
No, like I said, you've experienced death before, probably. So you know that this is some sort of bereavement tool.
I fly up with my wings and go over to the screen bit.
But the rest of you, like I said, you see a silhouette of a,
Silhouette of a
face
face, yeah.
through the window.
I need to get the minis done. Don't
Scaramouche,
shit.
Scaramouche.
Yeah, so you're just going to go straight over you.
Yeah, I'll fly up and go.
When you get to the casket, you can clearly see. It looks like a little girl. Roll history.
Oh, really? I think I'm putting one and one together.
Oofed. 11 again.
Fate's room.
The face of the girl is very similar, if not exactly the same, as the girl that you've seen in pictures with Rose and Klaus.
Zora.
Zora, was it?
That was the name of the daughter.
Oh, shit. What do you see, Kira?
I'm gonna retract my wings and go back to the group and just be quiet.
What did you see? Who was...
Go look for yourself.
Viola has walked into the room now. She was probably maybe about 10 seconds behind you. She was generally just looking at the structure of the shield guardian that she just got. And she walks in, followed by the shield guardian and the two chronomancers. The moment she sees the coffin,
Yay! I'm so proud.
she will run over to it. First of all, she'll drop what look similar to something like the cube, basically.
Yes.
Yes, the hose people. Throw it on the floor, and Harold will sort of like tumble out, and he'll be like,
Harold.
"Ah!" And he's right drinking his whiskey, and
Not pissed.
not pissed, just a bit tipsy. She
That's how I
will
feel.
she will start sort of like feeling around the coffin, and she'll, not looking at Harold, say set up a room in front of the door.
Really? Why are you going to do that?
I need my cigarette. I'll use this.
I've run out of pencils.
No, sorry, I'll use
Hold
this. I'll use this.
on. I'm serious.
Harold, dear, would you put it would you put use your ability to put a room in front of the door?
Why do you need him to do that? Ooh, a pencil.
Oh.
Unfortunately,
She says, communication in this room is a bit lacking.
why?
From experience, you've been in rifts before. The radio sometimes connects, but it's very staticky.
Right.
Okay.
So she then explains that to you. She
Yeah.
says, if we go into construct one of Harold's rooms, it's its own dimensional space, and we can communicate through it.
Right.
I'm going to contact Nikki Cox for an update on what's happening outside.
Huh. Sure. Okay.
Outside the rift, like in the outer world, because isn't she in Finrasta?
Yes, but she's using you would in character, out of character, you would know Nikki Cox is currently manning various satellites. In character, they're little birds or whatever your characters discern them as.
Cool.
And she turns to the chronomancers and starts whispering to them, and they get either side of the casket, and then you begin to notice on the side of the casket it looks like gears.
Okay.
And the chronomancers start to run their hands over the gears, and you can see things starting to turn.
What?
Viola says Harold has just prepared the room, which is the space of this basically, so it's covering all of you.
Right.
And then she'll switch her radio on and she'll say, Nikki, come in, Nikki. And you'll hear,
Wow.
yeah, alright. I mean, I've been bored shitless here in this fucking room. And she'll say, yes, that's wonderful, dear. I mean, you are being paid for it. And she'll say, yeah, not all much though, is it?
What's she paying?
Do you say this in character?
Yeah.
Viola will ignore you, and I don't think Nikki Cox overheard you over the radio. And she'll say, can you give us a status report on the situation outside? Nikki Cox said, oh, I thought we were in contact sooner. Yeah, that Juanita girl, chick. Yeah, she just walked into the rift. And Viola goes, oh, well, we don't have much time then, do we?
Clearly.
Does someone want to go and close the doors?
Yeah, that'll do it.
She'll turn to the chronomancers and she'll say, continue the protocol without my input, she'll say. And she'll sort of walk over and she'll turn to you two, and then she'll say, do you have any spell slots left?
Yes.
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 What's your most offensive spell that you can cast?
I can throw pebbles.
Synaptic static.
What?
I can.
She will look pleasantly surprised at that.
I can. I can
I can
reincarnate.
do water fire as well.
That's not
Conjure woodland beings to it.
I can throw a scorching ray.
I've got fireballs and
Level 2, I guess.
Erupting
lightning
earth.
bolts left.
And she'll say,
And
will
sorcery.
synaptic synapse or whatever it's called. From what I believe, it's a distilled fireball that does lightning damage, and they do a wisdom saving throw.
Intelligence.
So,
and then
they
minus 1d6 off attacks.
and
Same
lose
throws,
concentration.
abilities,
Yeah.
like that.
She'll say, will that put you out of your way to cast that?
When?
In what way I can cast it at will.
Um,
I've also got spot for a banishment as well.
She'll say, I don't really have a lot of time in this, but we've been researching this Juanita, and her ability I don't completely understand yet, and I would like some help in preparing some traps to impede her way and see how she reacts to them, and based on that we can get more information.
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to... I have no
Well,
means
if
of...
it's traps, you
I
need
have no
them to
means
sort
of
something out.
enchanting something to use my spells. I have no idea how to do that.
She'll say, I could not cast offensive spells, as you know. However, if we work together, and it will take a toll on me, physically, I can augment your spells into my spells.
Okay.
That sounds cool.
It's not very cost effective though.
Okay.
So she'll say, there's about a 60-foot to 80-foot corridor leading down here. She'll say, we will use your synaptic sinuses. I don't know why I keep calling it. Synaptic static, or your fireball, or whatever you wish to choose, and we will distill it in a glyph of warding combined with a fog spell.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, the result will be the spell will be dispelled in the fog and will be perpetually kept there by the glyph. The result will be, hopefully, a 60-foot corridor that the moment she walks in, millions of little fireballs or synaptic electric directed waves will hit her.
I also have Blight, which is my hardest hitting ability.
That's pretty cool. How do you do that?
I use my archive.
Right.
You've experienced this before.
Yeah.
I can augment two spells together to make not a new spell, but enhance another one. Recently, I've been learning, and she says this quite awfully, learning more about my abilities, and I can incorporate offensive spells that are mine because I can't cast them into my augmented ability.
Huh. That sounds good.
It's good for traps, buffs, mechanisms, but it's not very combat friendly. But for a situation like this, it'll work just fine. We probably have maybe 5 minutes before she gets here.
Then do your thing.
And she'll say, if you'd walk over to the door with me, please.
Yeah.
Right. As a sorcerer, roll Arcana.
I'm not proficient in this.
Do you want a cup of tea or anything?
I picked face stuff.
Are you doing tea?
Possibly.
Not wine.
If you're possibly doing tea, I will have green tea with you.
Green?
Yeah.
Nice.
15.
Right, and you're not proficient with it. Okay, but as a sorcerer, you are familiar with incantations and so on and so forth. And you are also familiar with how natural magic is cast. And this is done through what is called the weave.
Oh, okay.
The weave is sort of like distilled energy in the air, and you pull from it and abuse it essentially as a sorcerer. Wizards can't do this, and they need heavy materials and taxes, which is why they do spell scrolls and spell books. Warlocks don't use the weave either because they get their abilities from someone else. Right,
Yeah.
he's just like that's KFC.
Nice.
That's probably him. So the weave is more natural. From the sounds of it, she seems to want you to distill your ability to use the weave naturally, and sort of like force the incantation into her weaving. So essentially what you're doing is this very artistic dual weaving, basically.
Okay.
So the Arcana check was to understand this, and now I want you to do a performance check to see how well you combine your spells.
I can tell it's a sauce bottle.
No, it's
Jesus.
it's another 12, but plus 6 this time, so it's 18.
That's not too bad. Yeah, it goes off without a hitch. At first, you're trying to get your feet into it, but eventually, what's on? Oh, this is food. Eventually, you do. It becomes natural to you. So it's slightly sloppy, and hers is more finessed. But she covers the slight variations you have in this sort of like weave and incremental dance that you're both doing, and eventually you feel the spell slot not being used, but slowly drained from you.
Okay.
And
Did you
then,
order that?
yeah.
Because I did as well.
And eventually, but I ordered a meal, so what does it say on it? No, what does it say on the...
This one's mine.
Okay. Okay. And
Nice.
what happens is the spell slot is used, but it's a far slower process than normal, and it feels a little different.
Like, feels like
So it's very
ritual
ritualistic.
Yes.
Ritual caster.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not. It's quicker than ritual casting, but
I'm a ritual caster, so I know how it works.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that. That's pretty awesome.
and eventually you see this slow, twinkling fog fill the corridor and go all the way the 80 feet, basically. And yes, it's been successfully cast. But the moment that it's cast, Viola. Where's my dice? Where's my dice? Oh, yeah. Let's see how her constitution is.
Hopefully a natural 20.
Shit.
Roll it again.
The spell is successful, but you begin to notice that she's coughing, and a slight dribble of blood comes from the corner of her mouth. She'll dig into her pocket, and you hear her whisper, "Fuck," and sort of like drink this concoction down.
Whoa, you're right there.
And she'll wipe her mouth. It's not a whole lot of blood. Just a slight dribble, but because it's red and prominent on her skin, it's quite noticeable.
Because she's quite pale.
Yeah, she's a high elf.
Yeah.
She'll wipe the blood off slightly, and she'll say, I may have ruptured an organ in the process of that."
Oh dear.
You just did fucking alchemy, didn't you?
And she...
style.
Not exactly. Not quite.
But-
And she'll say, "I ruptured an organ doing that, but I was prepared for it."
I feel fine.
She says, "Because that was you were distilling the spell slot into my weave." She says, "So I was the one that was bearing the brunt of it."
I could do that again if you like. I just have to burn sorcery points.
You're a prick.
I'll decline for now. She says.
I can still use slow banishment. But you already have those, don't you?
I have most. I know most spells.
They're not offensive.
Yes, that's right. But my favourite spell is reverse gravity. Gets the job done quite effectively. She'll say, right, she'll say, and she'll sort of like brush herself off, and she'll go back to the Chronomancer. She says, "It's probably going to take roughly 4 minutes to open this. Juanita's going to roughly be here in less time than that, unless that trap and the room stalls her for enough time." Which I'm kind of hoping it does, because if she can go through that easily, we've got problems.
I can put darkness there as well if you like.
She is a dwarf, so it wouldn't impede. Oh no, it's magical darkness.
Magical darkness.
It wouldn't. Oh wait, magical darkness.
I mean, you could try. Yes, you could try. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she says we're very above average, well protected. She says, but for Juanita, I'm not too sure. And she'll say, "I'm going to focus on the process of opening the coffin." She says, "For some reason, if I believe what I think this is..."
I'm assuming that's aura.
Yes, I believe so as well, she says. If I believe this to be true, we may have found one answer to the many questions we have.
Another addition is Fate is also interested in this person.
That is problematic, she
And
says.
Fate is known. Juanita is known by Fate, so maybe working together in some way. Just as a warning.
She'll say, yes, I would have liked to know this in advance. But what can we do, she says, other than we know Juanita wants this, and we don't want her to have it. That's all it comes down to. Meanwhile, you hear static over the radio, and you hear, "Yeah, you're right, you bitch!" And you hear Viola go like this, and she'll say, "You don't need to shout, dear. And she'll say, yeah, there's another problem. After Juanita came into the rift, this other woman appeared. She's quite tall.
Wait, there's another woman there?
And she'll say, yeah, she's just standing in the rift. Juanita kind of just got sucked into the rift because of the rift stuff. But this woman's just casually standing in front of it. It's kind of creepy, actually.
Who's saying this?
Nikki Cox.
Oh, shit.
That sounds like a venue.
Is it? What does she look like? Another day.
Because you've seen it through satellites, it's a little bit blurry.
Viola said that she's quite a tall woman, so I assume, and she's very powerful. So
Is it a Venya then?
But
it's a hunch.
Nikki Cox will describe the woman. Since she's looking through satellites, the image is quite blurred.
Fair.
But she does get colours. Tall, black, long hair, and is currently wearing a green dress with a blue shawl.
That's Thai. Isn't it?
No.
No.
You know who this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, based
Who
on
is
the
it
description.
Well, it's not telling.
Based on the description, if you don't know it as a player, roll intelligence.
Yeah, fair.
Oh god.
Straight end?
Yeah.
11.
No rolls today.
Dirty 20 again.
12.
You have to roll 5 not to remember this one. It is
Oh,
a
right.
Venya.
It is.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
Have we met a Venya?
You met a Venya because you tried to do suggesting her and you failed it.
Didn't I? No, I don't think so.
When these guys were playing after the card game, you had a word with her, tried to cast suggestion in order to get more information out of her.
They just knew her. Some
Was she the lady?
Yes, with a
So her
cards.
her deck of cards is
Yeah.
the venue's deck of cards.
You've met a Venya because you were in the challenge. You were in both challenges.
Yeah.
You have not met her. I'm trying to remember if she would have met
I was
her.
in the tournament, but just.
No, Venya wasn't at the tournament.
No. This is some of
She's
the
been brought up like in name.
Yeah, and this is mainly come up in the fate things, and it's some of the ones that you haven't been at actually. So. You managed to skip the whole Avenia thing.
I know the name.
Yeah, you know the name, but not the description. So your character wouldn't put 2 and 2 together. But if these guys say it's a Venya,
So it is.
Oh, it's a Venya.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
Avenia then.
It must be. She's also of interest of fate.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
So,
she's
Aura's
been
here.
summoned by him.
Viola's here.
Juanita.
I'm here. Juanita's here. Venya's here.
And there's a girl in a coffin. Well,
They're all.
we don't know. I don't know that there's a girl
They're
in
all
a coffin
part.
yet.
Apart from Amy. They're all
While
part of Fate's system.
he was doing the whole ritual casty thing,
Yeah.
can I go and see who's in the coffin?
Yes, roll perception.
Oh, my character already assumed.
4.
The window is very foggy.
Yeah.
You can recognise that it's female.
Okay.
You recognise also that she has what appears to be almost red hair. It has slight pink tinges to it.
Do I know who this is?
You did roll, and I think you did put 2 and 2 together to say this was Aura, and he has said this is
You
Aura.
have said this is Aura.
And you've seen the picture of Aura, same hair colour.
So, again,
Yeah.
cool.
So 2 and 2 together.
That is an assumption by my character if he's seen all the pictures
Yeah.
of himself. And he said aura and everything sort of was no longer aggressive.
Yes. And they're doing some eerie things to it.
So Viola say you have about 3 minutes now. She's going to be here in 3 minutes, and you notice after Venya's name's propped up, she's gotten a bit nervous. Oh, thank you very much, dear.
I don't have to be concentrating on Cynetic Static, do I?
No, normally you would, but like I said, she's taking the brunt.
Because darkness is also concentration.
She's taking the brunt of the spell. So technically she's concentrating on it. Viola's sort of like concentrating on the coffin, and she's like, oh.
Oh no, Cynetic Static hasn't got concentration.
She'll say, but not good for Warden doesn't. but Fog does. She'll say, we don't have much time. If Ivenia gets involved,
You still haven't mentioned what we're meant to be doing.
we're trying to open this.
We've set the trap.
The dead people
We're
box?
talking and everything's coming closer. What
The dead people
are
box?
we preventing here?
Yes.
Oh, the dead people box. Okay, I'm gonna get out my weapon, make it pew into staff and hit it.
Roll an attack.
Yep. 9.
You know why it's not working, don't you?
Isn't it a metal coffin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not moving.
You know why it's not working, don't you? It's just a countdown.
Yeah, that's a D20 counter. but
Under
actually
15, I can take that much. It's under 15.
Yeah, you hit it. It's not moving.
Yeah, I thought as much. But this is silly.
You'd have to roll lower than 3, I think.
Roll what?
Lower than 3.
Alright.
So roll damage if you want to.
Or me?
Yeah, well, you hit the coffin.
Yeah, I did. I did hit the coffin. 4 plus...
Your strength modifier.
Strength mod. Scrolling up. Strength plus 0.
Yeah, 4.
As you hit it, you hear a loud clang.
King.
It doesn't seem to have done much.
Oh.
Good job, Kara.
Thanks.
Yeah, sarcasm doesn't work on it.
No, sarcasm. Sarcasm goes right over.
You hear Viola say, Nikki Cox, if a vineyard attempts to move into the rift,
Let us know.
let us know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, she says, with this party, and if we are able to open the coffin in time, we'll probably be able to deal with Juanita, but we won't be able to deal with Juanita and Avenia.
Right, okay. I'm going to use the marble
Thank you, darling.
to cast haste on my chronomancer who's opening
Okay,
the coffin, so it is faster.
good. So it'll open just before Juanita gets to the
Warwick,
door.
I should use haste from your bauble on your one as well.
Yeah, sure.
So they're both hasted now.
Yeah, you suddenly see the movements are quite robotic because their hands are slowly integrating into the cogs. So you see on the bottom of their hands that there's like cog-like shapes, and they're sort of like moving it like this, and they're sort of like moving up and down, kind of like the cuckoo clock, like wooden movements. So you suddenly see them just going like this, like crazy now. Yeah.
Nice, very good.
That should quicken the process.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, she says.
Are there any other ways of getting into that thing quicker than them? What if I try to blow the lock?
I would trust them more than anything because they've been guarding this for a very long time.
I'd rather not damage what's inside either.
I can make it so that it doesn't damage the insides.
There doesn't appear to be a lock on anyway. It looks like it's arcanely sealed.
Oh. Fuck it.
Yeah, roll if you want to confirm. Roll Arcana.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
In a
Well,
sense
because
of-
it makes sense because they're using magic to open it.
Roll Arcana for what?
To see how
the
coffin
is locked.
is locked. I
8.
said I could maybe
yeah, okay.
blow it open.
Be careful here.
11.
Okay.
I got 8. But
Okay.
I was assuming that it was arcane ones.
15.
Okay, where's the only one?
Yeah,
Good.
18.
So you two, it is arcane in nature. She's like
Yeah,
mint tissue. Sorry.
Sorry, there should be something
Oh,
else.
they're lovely.
There you go.
These fucking hot wings are fucking hot as fuck.
They're good, aren't they?
It's in the name.
So yeah, it's arcane in nature, but you can't work out the intricacies of it. You, on the other hand, somehow
the druid.
Somehow,
Brilliant.
yay!
I love it.
you compare it to a woodpecker of all things. It's the gears are slowly grinding down, and it's like a woodpecker pecking at wood, and it's like the gears. You notice the gears are slowly getting worn down and becoming smoother.
I turn into a woodpecker and erratically, peck at it.
You break your beak.
Cool.
Ow.
And then I return back to halfling form.
Your face is fucked. No.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Whoa!
Oh fuck! This gravy is fucking everywhere.
Huh?
It's not everywhere. It's like it's fucking full of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what to say. You can the next 3 minutes you can essentially prepare, and Viola's suggesting if you have anything that needs preparing, do it now.
Can I make a grenade in 3 minutes?
Can I
No.
have your PHB in Xanathar's?
I'm going to burn all
It takes 10
9.
minutes to prepare a spell though.
All 9 of my sorcery
It
points.
takes 10 minutes.
It's sorcery points per level, isn't it? So if I do a third level spell, it's 3 sorcery points. If I do
I think it's
to get back
it's
a
2
spell
for
slot.
1, 3 for 2, 5 for 3.
Can I clock
Isn't
us?
I'll check the PHP.
I believe so.
Can I clock us to what's behind that door in any sense of the fact?
Clock us behind the door.
Work out as to what's behind that door.
What? The coffin?
Yeah.
You know what's behind
Yeah, we know what they worked out. It's all around.
Yeah, but is it alive? Is it undead? Is
Yeah,
it...
sure, alive or dead, yeah.
Oh, you want to see the condition of the
Yeah.
person? Yeah, roll.
Roll what?
A dice.
Roll nature.
Ooh, hello. Nice, thanks.
Actually, I've got a lot of stuff
plus
my
8.
brother.
Okay, 24.
Yeah.
Nice, you're on fire.
The girl doesn't seem to be appearing in the
I hope
breathing
not.
in the coffin. However, you notice that if it was a corpse, it hasn't aged.
Reader alive.
So you conclude that whatever's happening in this coffin is distilled a moment in time.
Do I get a sense that it's, you
So
know,
it's
in a
frozen.
normal sense, it's like unconscious?
Out of character, it's like an incubation chamber. Feels like.
Yes, this is where they would freeze Walt Disney. Yes.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow. Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so it's a cryo unit.
Today.
And the dog, well, does it appear frosted inside?
It did appear foggy when I looked inside.
Yeah.
It feels foggy.
Yes. And someone else get on those
This
chips
is
before I get them all.
scary.
Should I use this dip?
You can use whatever you like.
So, are we all
Helps
sorted, prepared, mentally prepared, physically prepared?
Nope.
I'm just going to
gonna-
prepare
I'm going to
Yeah.
go behind the coffin.
Okay.
a long barrel shot.
Viola will tell the 4 little guardians to stand in front of the door. The only person, Warwick, what are you doing?
What's the back the door?
So by where the 4 little ones are. After a minute or two, everyone roll perception.
I'm gonna do something interesting. Oh. 25.
16.
Ish.
19.
I
12.
would have, before anything, prepared woodland beings.
That takes a minute, doesn't it?
I would be preparing.
Yeah. So for a minute, you're going to summon. Is it a face CR2 or less? Is it?
It's gonna be pixie, so I don't know what this.
So you're going to summon 8 pixies.
Yeah, let's
Here
do
we
it.
go. Okay.
Happy birthday to Kira. I don't know when her birthday is.
Today, why not?
Yeah, you have 8 pixies. They will, for the purposes of bereavement, they'll have the same initiative as you,
Cool, yeah.
and I'll let you control them and their abilities essentially. So yeah. After a minute, who rolls higher than 20 perception?
No.
Me.
No.
Sam?
I rolled 16.
Okay. So you're the only one.
25.
Beyond the where the corridor where the fog ends.
Remember, it's darkens the end of it.
Yeah. You hear some movement. It sounds like heavy chainmail, and it's methodically moving towards you.
Guys, I got a bad feeling. Do you hear that?
Now that she's pointed it out, yes, I'm guessing so.
Yeah, unless you rolled lower than a 5.
No, I got 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Nikki, did you see anyone in chainmail walk in?
Yeah, the weird dwarf woman.
Okay. Juanita, you mean?
Yeah.
She's wearing chainmail.
Yeah.
That would have been useful, thanks.
I mean, wouldn't you wear chainmail if you wanted to fucking kill people?
Why are you shushing?
She's trying to listen, I think.
Why do you keep shushing?
What is this?
It's fucking Juanita. Can I just shoot her now?
You can't see because there's darkness in front of the door.
How far does that go?
It's literally in the doorway, basically.
It's 20 feet.
Great, so I can't see shit with my...
So what's happening is there's an 80-foot corridor going down this way, and it's all fogged with this magical synapse.
Yes.
There's darkness around here and on the doorway.
The darkness is where the trap is.
And this whole room is basically being controlled by Harold.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Can the chronomancer cast spells?
Was there anything else in the room that was useful?
Just the coffin.
Okay. That we could see.
Can.
Yeah. But I think somebody rolled higher than a 25. It's just the coffin. Like I said, it's a very plain room.
Yeah. Okay then.
They're busy at the moment. Does it look like the chronomancers are getting close?
It would be kind of cool.
Did Kira, when you realised that the gears are being worn down, and that had something to do with the coffin being open, did you share that with the party?
Not really.
No. So you would have to do another Arcana check to see if the door is any closer to opening, basically.
Thank you.
It's better than
What was it?
8.
Not really. You can't really tell, I'm afraid. But then, all of a sudden, you hear and feel a low rumble. Not feel.
Like an earthquakey sort of thing, or
I wouldn't say as strong as an earthquake, but you just feel the ground shift slightly. And Vile will say, I think our guest has made contact with our fog.
Oh, so all those fireball things.
Yeah, so millions of little synapses are currently hitting Juanita.
Great. Boom, 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 boom. Are we even sure we want her dead?
You just want to stop her from getting this.
Remind me why.
She's here for a reason.
Everyone roll history if you want to know why.
Yeah.
That was a 2. That was a 20 and it turned to a 2.
I think only these... No, only
21.
you two were mentally there.
Yeah.
You were there, but
you're not fine.
deranged.
21.
And you weren't... You were an illusion. So...
Thanks.
21, sorry.
Yeah.
16.
And...
5.
Okay. So, yeah, reflective. So you two remember... You finally... It clicks. You've seen this before. When Fate summoned other people to watch, this coffin appeared, and when this
out of character, I think I pinned that.
Yeah, when this coffin appeared, Juanita bashed the hell out of this, and she gave up eventually.
Oh shit! Juanita really wants this thing maybe dead and destroyed.
Like I said, she might be working for Fate. It's weird.
But then Juanita was in the room for Fate, so why would Fate want to use one to destroy the other?
Yet again, more rumbling. It's getting louder and stronger.
This young girl is stopping Fate from having complete control. Somehow.
But
I have no idea how.
But so's Juanita.
No, Juanita's not part of the. She wasn't part of the.
I thought she was in the room.
I'll give you this because this is so important that you'd probably remember it.
Okay.
The system has given these people a certain name. They're called anomalies.
Yes.
Juanita
was one of them. This coffin is another. He's one.
Yeah. So basically,
Can't remember the other two,
anomalies seem to appear to be related to whatever this system is that, as he's explained, because he's tried to show you the book and failed, and only Viola and Amy were able to see it. So the coffin, you recall, had a high percentage of control of the system. Like, say for example, Fate probably had about just under 75% control.
Okay.
This little girl in this coffin has about 10% of control of the system. And Avenia was next in line. After that, then the numbers get smaller and dwindle.
Over myself
and Juanita was mentioned as somebody that can interact with the system, but is outside of it.
So yeah, maybe she is working for Fate then, from that.
Possibly.
Yeah. So yeah, we do need to stop the Barlocks.
Rumbling getting louder again.
Still trying to keep an eye on this coffin, see if it's open.
We should prepare for them sounds.
We should, yes.
That's the sound of mine and Viola's stuff potentially working.
Great.
Viola says, if it's getting closer, I doubt it is working. She says,
That's shit. Yeah.
But it disproves one of my theories, so we're closer to understanding how Juanita works.
We are?
Does someone want to peek their head out down the corridor?
Good.
Does
volunteering.
Can somebody look through magical darkness is the
Nope.
issue?
I could have if I spent sorcery points to cast it.
Come on, pixies. You can go invisible and go forward.
They can.
Nice.
But they roll
Devil-
Arcana.
Need devil's sight to see through darkness.
They wouldn't be seen. However, the moment they probably interact with the fox out, they'd probably explode.
I guess that's already happened.
What, they're dead?
Or have I managed to clock that would happen?
You clocked it, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm saying, yeah.
Okay, let's not do that. That's good.
The noises are probably about 20 feet away now.
Okay.
Well, 20 feet away from the door.
Barlocks.
Viola turned to Harold and say, Harold, Juanita's getting really close to the doorway. Can you prepare something in the room that would stop her?
Can't you just close the door and not let her in?
Harold.
Isn't that how this thing works?
Harold will go, yeah, I could do that. I mean, yeah, she can't interact with my ability, surely, he says.
Exactly, right?
I can close off the
he
space.
said it.
However, I wouldn't really know how that would affect the coffin.
I don't want to metagame it. Wouldn't Viola know how to do Wall of Force?
Does it do...
It doesn't do damage.
It doesn't do damage.
It just stops everything.
Oh, it's the level 5 spell and it's like a sphere.
Yeah, you can just turn it wherever you want to be up across. It's just a Wall of Force that you can't, you need to disintegrate to break.
Viola says...
This spell magic doesn't work.
I could muster something like that, she says.
Then do that as well, I guess.
I know level 5 spells at the source.
I will put it around the coffin, she says. It's a last ditch effort, she says. But I would like to see how Juanita deals with Harold's ability first.
Let's do that.
And she says, I will put the shield up the moment I'm aware that she's gotten through the fog, basically. And at that moment, you see a hand slowly come out of the darkness, sort of like grabbing onto the doorway, door frame. Trying to hit the hand, do you? Roll an attack roll.
Shotgun.
Yeah.
Oh, that. That's a 21. No, a 20, dirty. Plus 11. 9 plus 11, yeah, 20.
Now then, how many people are looking this happen?
I'm behind the coffin.
I would have probably been fixated on the coffin because. Yeah.
Dan? You're by the doorway,
yeah.
so you would have seen the shot. So you two, I want you to roll a perception check.
Oh shit.
23.
21.
Okay, so you both see this.
Bitchin'.
The shot hits.
Yeah.
However, it's almost like a mirage takes the hit. It's almost like two instances of the hand existed in one place.
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay.
And you'll see slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Your memories have been wiped with this woman, but the moment that you see her, your memories slowly start coming flooding back. You see a very muscular female dwarf with black scraggly hair, almost like an afro.
Right.
Her biceps and forearms are gigantic.
Nice. Goals.
And she's holding a great hammer, basically.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's so great. And she'll say, "No, you don't do that. No, you
Too late, I already did.
Yeah, she didn't work." She says.
I drop darkness.
That moment, as she's walked into the room, Viola will click her fingers, put a shield around the coffin and herself and the chronomancers. And Harold will sort of, it's hard to explain, the room, the walls seem to get closer and closer to you. But as the walls are about to hit you, if you don't move,
okay,
it's like the room is shrinking.
I know. The walls are closing in.
Yeah, but if you don't move, the walls slowly crawl over you, and it's like
we go through it.
Yeah,
and it's like they react to.
It's like
going through them in Harry Potter.
It's like a gelatin.
Oh.
It's like it's like a gelatin. It's like a jelly feel. There's no after effect, but
it's just the shiver sort of. Yeah, that was weird.
And you begin to see, as the wall moves past you, this white box slowly encasing Juanita. And
fuck?
And Harold is saying, "Yeah, this is how it works, isn't it? Make a room, I'm gonna shrink the fucker, aren't I? She'll explode."
Oh, you're gonna fucking encapsulate her in that thing?
She's gonna explode like a fucking pineapple.
Harold, that's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
I just complimented Harold.
If it works.
I mean, there's that, but fucking hell, it's a good idea.
As the box shrinks to the point where you start to think it's about to hit her, like there's this small white box that's covering this dwarf.
Rubber here as well.
Oh, I don't know about the rubber, I'm afraid.
You begin to see.
Yes, sorry.
You begin to see a hand push out of. You begin to see a hand force itself out of the cube. Unlike your situation where you sort of like ebbed through it, this looks far more forced.
She's fighting it.
Yeah.
So it's like he let us through it. But he's trying to.
Yeah. I cast slow using the marble.
Oh, nice.
Sure. How would this react with her ability? I will allow her to roll for that. Well, she gets a roll anyway from what I recall, but this is going to be a different roll.
18 is no. I'd never do anything.
Right.
No, yours.
Okay. So you begin to feel the spell take effect, and you see her hand slowly stop. Like it's not stopped, but it's slowing down. But then. Roll perception check.
For fuck's sake. 7.
At this point, I'm assuming all four of you are looking at Juanita.
Mm-hmm. I am.
Everyone roll perception then. As the slow spell takes effect.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
If it does take effect, she can take one action per turn, so either one
Perception
attack.
it was,
Yeah.
One attack or one spell per turn. She can't use her bonus action.
Oh, natural 20 as well.
Yeah.
Another 22.
28.
I got 20.
Nice.
20.
Perception, yeah.
Fucking 8.
Yeah.
So you
Nice.
foresee
These are my
this,
stats.
Good eight.
and so what happens? Yet again, you see this.
Yeah.
You see this mirage effect take place again, and it's almost like the mirage is taking the slow effect instead of Juanita herself, and she slowly pushes herself out of the cube. But you see, for a split second, the mirage remain and then dissipate.
Dissipate.
Yes, I want Dan and Titch to roll Arcana.
+9.
6.
19, 2 9s are 18, so that's 28.
Okay. Even on a high roll, you cannot fully grasp what is currently happening. You can conclude that this is probably her ability. You're an outworlder. You've had experience with rifts, and you've come through several situations where rifts.
Through one to get here.
Her ability seems to be warping the very dimension around her.
Oofed.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Viola goes. She doesn't need to roll. She's seen this. She's seen this enough times now to make the conclusion. Well. That's a nifty ability.
Well,
she
she's a
says.
planeswalker or something, right?
That's a nifty ability, she says. Yes, she seems to be interacting with alternate realities and abusing her other selves to take damage for her.
How? Why? How? The above. How? Why? How?
I will return back from playing with the coffin casket thing and stick big, stick small, stick big, stick small.
I don't know what to do. I know. Big stick, small stick, big stick. Ooh, metal box.
Big stick, little cardboard box.
I was going with metal box, but
Yeah.
How would it work
oh shit.
if I were to twin cast banishment and try and target her mirage and her?
Unfortunately, you cannot twin cast 2 spells. You can only do a spell and cantrip.
So
Oh no, twin cast. All right, not quick cast.
yeah.
I will allow you to roll Arcana on that, based on the information that Viola and Titch have
If
given
I
you.
can't do it,
Oh,
I'm not going to waste.
Well, I've given you 3 Arcana rolls.
Don't think so.
Hey, 21.
You get the feeling, based off experiences and how you felt the spells work, and based off the information that you've heard,
Yeah.
it would be pointless.
Okay.
It seems like the ability is.
Okay. Juanita, why are you here? What are you here to do?
Juanita will say, I made a promise a very, very long time ago.
Who to and what?
We play a game together.
So fate.
No, I don't like Fate. He a bit of prick.
Yeah, fair enough. I get that. Okay. So who was this promise with? The king? The queen?
She'll say,
Avenia?
she'll say, when little trollop come out of coffin, we may discuss this. You may be dead.
Oh, so you want her to be actually out of the coffin?
Yeah, no, I want to kill her.
Okay, well at least we got that down. Why? Come on, tell us. Please. You were our friend once, right?
She dangerous.
But you're dangerous.
Yes, but I understand that, but there's a lot of dangerous things in the world. We're splitting hairs here.
But we were friends once, weren't we?
Maybe not so much friends, acquaintances.
There you go. Then
You
I mean-
vomited on my floor.
I didn't. Not my fault. Not my fault. Shut up. I blame Ty for that. It was Ty's fault.
Yes, and the grey elf, she was a bit of a bitch. And the only nice one was the monk, and he seemed a bit standoffish, and he's very sleepy.
It's an interesting accent you have there.
Yes.
Yeah, you haven't met Juanita yet, have you?
No,
This is Kira.
new Aetherius champion, yes.
How do you know me?
I can tell you.
From the Look, I'm learning.
I so fucking hope that's how you did it.
I'm learning the new trick. Like, not only can I go zit zit zit, I can then go zit zit zit, and then I go back to zit.
But it's the same thing, just in different directions.
She'll say,
You say
are a
this,
special snowflake.
these characters you are playing, they are very weird.
How do you mean?
What does she mean characters you're playing?
Does she recommend that we're all playing a game? I do not know.
Whoa, is she breaking the fourth wall?
at that moment, you hear a clunk from the coffin, and the door is slowly opening. Over the radio on Viola's shoulder, you'll hear Nikki Cox going, "Oh, the weird lady's moving. She's put her hand in the rift, and she's just standing there like with her hand in the rift. I mean, she doesn't seem to be doing. Actually, never mind. She's just put her hand in the rift for some reason."
Maybe she's trying to close the rift that's inside.
Maybe.
By the way, as soon as the coffin opens and Aura's accessible, if Juanita's still approaching, I'm going to grab Aura and dimension door to the other side of the corridor and run away.
You're gonna run away?
I want you
Save her.
I want you to roll initiative to see if you can beat her, basically.
I'm right next to the coffin and she's got to walk through all the force.
I like initiative, it's fun. Are we all on initiative or is it?
It's just these two to see how
to see who
where happens what.
Where happens
That's
what?
scary.
What happens where? Oh, for fuck's sake. That was a natural 20 one, eh?
No.
Oh,
No, but based off your argument, yes, she would have to fight her way through the force of war force, but it's easy for her. She just puts her hand up like that, and it's just dissipated. But as she gets close to the girl in the coffin,
Aura.
you walk up to the girl inside the coffin, and you're just holding her.
Yeah, like I've got.
No, stop! Stop!
Stay there. Stay there. Don't move.
Okay, let go.
Are you sure?
Yes. There you go. Problem solved.
Good save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't move a muscle.
I've got to touch the person I'm going to dimension door with.
The moment you touch this girl, the first thing you notice is you walk into the coffin. There's a skeleton on the ground.
Inside the coffin?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Second of all, you're probably rushing to grab this girl and dimension door out, so you haphazardly say, "Oh shit, there's bones on the floor, grab the girl now." So you sort of like sidestep over this skeleton and grab her. But as you grab the girl and are about to cast dimension door, you see what appears to be
Sorry, Dan.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
you see a slight glint in her eyes.
The kid's eyes.
Yeah.
Fact.
Okay.
He's seen that, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's alive.
That's good then.
Well, her eyes are clearly open. Are you going to continue dimension door the two of you out?
Yeah, my instinct is to get this girl away from Juanita right now.
As you try to attempt to grab and hold the girl, your arms phase through her.
Oh, shit.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I had a plan.
Didn't work?
She's translucent.
What's a plan?
It's one of those things that we're not very good at doing.
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
Christ. I don't know what's going to happen now.
Did you put a timer?
She literally, within a couple of seconds, it's like she goes through you basically, but you don't feel anything. And she'll slowly. She's floating about probably 2 or 3 feet in the air, and she slowly hovers onto the.
Grab the bones instead.
They're bones.
I mean,
Are they childlike bones or are they adult
roll
bones?
perception.
23.
Have you never done that to KFC
Um, They're too big to be her bones.
They're too
Oh
big, yeah.
shit! Still grab them.
I think they're her bones.
What the fuck
Can
are they
can I
then?
tell the same by that?
If
Is it a female?
I'm
Or
a
is it a male?
druid.
how high roll did you roll?
23.
Based off the hips and the head placement, you can discern that this skeleton was feminine.
It was a feminine,
Yeah, feminine skeleton.
not even a female. Feminine.
Well, you can't entirely discern the gender from bones unless the hips were extremely wide.
Mhm.
You get the sense that the hips are above average. I'm not going to go into detail. It's feminine.
That's like when I used to watch all these stupid TV shows with parents.
What's a TV
One of them
show?
was called Bones. I would always go to work out if it's a female just with their
Yeah,
hips.
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
What's a TV show?
Moving pictures and stuff is weird. Don't worry. It's a
Wow.
bit beyond this world.
Literally.
Wow.
Or behind. Beyond or behind. Don't know yet.
Right. A number of things all happen at the same time.
Okay.
First thing that happens, you hear this. The little girl say, Is she playing a game?
Only he heard it, so.
Yeah.
They'll telekinetically respond by saying she wants to kill you.
Ooh.
She did mention a game though. A long overdue game.
You watch. The next thing that happens, you watch as we need to lift this hammer and bring it down on this little girl.
Oh shit.
As a reaction, can I
Fireball?
touch or need to dimension door her and me?
Let's see.
Oh fuck! Because you're actually touching the thing. So yeah, that might work.
She needs to roll, doesn't she? She would need to be a willing creature though, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be willing creature.
So she's not willing. So what does she roll if she's not willing?
I had to guess a wisdom. What? Oh.
It doesn't say.
So you can't.
It says you can bring along objects as long as the weight is. See, you can bring one willing creature size who's carrying gear up to its carrying capacity. Creature is within 5 feet of you when you cast this spell.
She's not willing, therefore you can't take her.
Yeah.
Oh bugger.
That's sad.
Is there anything in the PHB about willing the unwilling?
No, it would say specifically in the spell. Like,
Okay.
it would have to be a save.
Okay. That's not bugger then.
So the hammer, however, you notice
Yeah.
that the hammer, although it looked like it hit her,
It didn't.
it didn't.
Fuck all.
She's standing on top of the hammer now.
Hammer time.
Stop.
Hammer time.
Just like that roulette.
While all this is happening,
Yeah.
if you hear a familiar voice say, "Oh, you want to play a game?"
Whose voice is it then?
You look around and it's Fate.
Yeah, no.
The fuck are you doing here?
What did I fucking say?
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing here?
It's a mean Mario.
Told you, he wants her dead.
Oh, shite, yeah. Well,
Hello. I said, wait, hello.
Where is he?
He's just standing in the doorway, casually leaning up against it.
Oh, which is where I'm
With my
standing.
connection to a theorist.
Yeah.
With my connection to a theorist.
Roll attack.
With my connection to Aetherius,
Ah,
does
yes.
that have any connotation or anything gained or lost from Fae, or is it still
Oh, good. The
completely
misfire's
separate?
only on one as well.
You believe it to be separate. What did you roll?
I rolled a 3 on the dice plus 11. That's not
No,
enough,
it's
is it?
not-
No.
that's not spot on.
I did attack fucking Fate.
What
Yeah.
brings
Shall I
you
roll?
here, fadey, cloaky,
Oh, look,
weird
here's
person?
4d6. Convenient.
I fly up and play with this one.
Oh, have I described him to you?
Yeah, long ago.
Yeah, he's wearing white with.
Yeah. He's almost Nausea-esque. I
Yeah.
play with his hood and magic.
That might distract him from the shot that I just took at him.
You try and touch the hood and you face through it.
Oh, shit.
Can I tell why?
Ooh, good shot.
Roll nature because you've got planar.
Conked. That's conked, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That's conked.
I like that, actually.
Yeah.
I only had
That's what I've used before.
cocked. No,
plus
leave
it,
it,
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, but that has the word
I like
cock.
cock.
That has the word cock in it.
Cock.
26.
Nice. Fucking hell.
18 plus 8, so.
You conclude that this is a more perfected ability that Juanita's been using.
Shenanigans!
Shit.
You people. Nice hood though.
What follows is the following things.
Uh-oh. I die because I attacked Fate.
Just click the fingers.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love my backup characters, that's cool.
I haven't got one.
About 150 daggers are hanging off the ceiling and are directly pointed
Oh wow.
at Aura and Juanita.
Oh, and Juanita.
Fate, you've tried this before, it didn't work.
The next thing that happens is,
They all come at me.
no, Aura sort of like lifts her hands up, and not really. What happens is, from underneath, what appears to be black spikes appear from the ground and pierce right through Juanita.
Oh shit. As in Full Metal Alchemist Black Hand style.
No, it's just a black spike.
Oh, okay. That's the same thing! Did you get it?
No.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
I had a small amount of area to aim for.
Disappointed.
No. But
Just
swords
do it.
all over Dan.
Let's do it. It's fine.
You notice that the spike does hit her.
Go straight through.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Haven't you seen and been told that what you've seen Juanita bleed once, but it just disappeared straight afterwards?
Who would have experienced this?
Can't
The
remember.
3 original characters would have.
Hello then.
So you would roll Dan.
So we've seen her bleed.
You've seen her bleed before, but the
Okay.
moment she started bleeding, it instantly just disappeared. It didn't even disappear. There was just she was bleeding and then she wasn't.
And then it wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Oh shit.
You then begin to see multiple of these mirages.
So it's basically a displacement thing, ish.
And it's more complex than a
Yeah,
displacement.
but
It's similar, but not the same.
okay.
I'd also suggest not standing underneath the daggers.
I'm not. I'm
They're
standing
all
by the
pointed
door.
at Aura.
I'm standing by the door by
So
Fate.
just let everyone know that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
the last time they did it, you just dropped a rock.
Shit.
This black spike has pinned Juanita to the wall, and you see her sort of mirages appear and dissipate. But because she's pinned against the wall,
Yeah.
she
They
can't
can't
move.
do nothing.
So it's perpetually always happening. So
Okay.
she's reappearing, disappearing, reappearing, disappearing.
Oh wow. Okay.
Would that make it easier for me to target my banishment spell?
On who specifically?
Juanita.
I haven't got that good.
Yet again, you are aware that as long as this ability is online, you cannot target it. Next thing that happens, all 150 daggers attempt to collide on top of Aura and just face through her,
Straight through.
straight through.
Is that what you expected to happen, Fate?
Fate just shrugs and he says, "It was worth a try. The system is already explained, but it was a good opportunity. I don't even know why I'm explaining this to you."
I asked. You obliged?
Yes, it's really boring that way, isn't it? And he'll roll his eyes. So, he'll walk up to the little girl, and this girl Aura, and he'll say, "I can't hurt you, and I'm assuming you can't hurt me."
She hasn't tried yet.
And the girl says, "Oh, why would I hurt you, mister? We're just playing a game, right?" And Fate goes, "So your idea of playing a game is pinning people to a wall with spikes?" And she'll say, "No, that was just the system reacting to the anomaly."
What system?
Oh shit. Awesome.
Oh shit.
And Fate at this his brows slightly curl over, and he says, "I am the system."
I'm going to hear.
No, you're not.
I'm going to hear a voice in my head saying,
You are?
"That's the woman saying, you can't do this
Oh.
because you don't have the majority."
Fate says, "I'm tired of this game.
Okay, then bugger off then. Bye.
No, I'll just end it here and start afresh," he says.
Oh shit.
Why?
"You are all impeding my way, and you are slowly becoming more and more annoying."
How? I'm not.
I hear that all the time.
Not only are you not only are you interacting with the anomalies, some of you are slowly turning into anomalies as well.
Huh?
What?
The more you interact with the system, the more problematic you become for me.
System.
Computers and shit. It's what Amy can do.
Hold
Like,
up. I hold up my book.
And that.
You can't see
You
it
can't
still.
see it.
Wait, what was
The
that?
thing is, he was just waving his hand in the air. Didn't he look like a prick?
Viola, at this point, the last 2 times she saw Fate, she had a mental breakdown.
Yeah, she did.
This is the first time where she's
She
still
hasn't.
shocked, but she's got some composure.
Okay.
I should probably tell you, Faye, the venue's outside as well.
Oh yeah, that.
And he says, "Then most of the cast are here then."
Most? Who's missing? Ty. Shit.
Where
Where is she these days?
She stayed in the
He-
office.
He shrugs indifferently. I don't have time to deal with non-existent NPCs.
I thought you kept an eye on her.
Not necessarily.
Okay, fine.
And at that moment he says, "We can just start the game anew, and when we start over again, we'll make things a little bit less complicated. We'll make Avenia the bad guy again, and everything will be fine."
Again.
But you're the bad guy.
Wait, whoa, again. You've done this before.
And you'll say, you'll sort of like say, "I don't have to explain anything to you."
I'm asking nicely.
And he'll click his fingers, and slowly you begin to see red strings attached to your limbs.
Have I got time to cock my gun?
Roll a strength check.
No, don't make me do strength. Strength is stupid. Can I do dex instead?
No.
Please?
No.
Oh.
I'll allow everyone to do something if they want to before the
Yeah,
strings.
no, I didn't cock my gun.
Continue playing with his hood.
No, didn't cock my gun.
Okay.
I'm probably like the most disabled person in this room at the moment.
Like disabled.
I rolled on that one.
Oh wait.
The red
Come disabled.
strings slowly cross over your limbs.
Do they affect me?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
all 4 of you were affected.
Okay.
Um,
Whoa, why are you like doing this?
You'll say, "Well, once I take control of your character sheets, this won't be a problem anymore.
Character sheet?
Huh?
Shit.
The fuck?
I'm going
that-
to take your very existence and rip it apart."
Is that some elven
No, you
language?
fucking
Is
are.
that
Suck me
elven?
out first.
What?
A sheet.
A sheet, that's a thing you do on the toilet.
Then you'll say, "Goodbye, everyone. In the next campaign, I hope things will be a little bit less complicated."
You're gonna make us jam something new, aren't you?
He'll sort of clap his hands together. He'll sort of clap his hands together, and you begin to feel these red strings start to crisscross over your body, and slowly but surely your line of sight is starting to fade. I want everyone to roll 2 d20s.
Oh, hello.
Dan?
Yeah.
Roll 2 d20s.
I'm thinking I've dimension door myself out here.
Uh-oh. I don't like this.
A 13 and a 19.
I got some recently, 15, 15.
2 and 11.
Natural 1 and a 15.
Oh shit.
Well, you did better than me.
Nice.
So, can we do those again?
1 and 15.
Yeah.
2, 11.
A 19 and a 13.
13, 15.
Nice.
So we will do them. So we're basically going around the table.
Okay.
So as these lines crisscross across your body, and you're slowly losing fading consciousness, you realise that you're all dying.
Can I counterspell this?
I felt dying before, right, when I went into the pool.
Yeah.
So have I.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, we've been here before.
in this very moment.
Does that mean I'm gonna wake up in the fucking... No.
In this very moment, fractured memories begin to surface on your brain, and it looks like your brain has gotten into high gear and is thinking of flashing images.
Okay.
A way to get out of the situation.
Go on then, yeah.
And random bits happen. Your adventure, your time in Finrasda, your time with your buddies, your time with your time with your buddies in Finrasda, both in Finrasda and on the other plane. Your time with your grandfather.
Yes.
And eventually the images slowly start to slow down.
Okay.
And then eventually your eyesight comes back too. And you're sitting in a what seems to be a canopy of forest of some sort.
Am I back home? I say.
It looks like home. But as you look around and you look at yourself or your body, you're a lot smaller than what you remember.
Little baby.
Am I back to being a child?
Yes. In front of you sits a campfire and who you recognise to be your grandfather.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there casually. He seems to be eating some sort of mutton or something, some sort of small lamb or something. And he's sort of like chewing on this, and you hear him sort of like throw a bowl over to you and say, "Eat up, boy. Gonna be all skin and bone otherwise."
Alright, yeah.
You could say,
I sit down and I
yeah. You'll say, "Have I ever told you? Well, I tell you many stories, lad. Often enough you don't fucking listen to them.
You're right, I don't.
But there's an old gnome legend.
Okay.
We don't really get on with halflings very well.
Oh, really?
We're compared often a lot. We're the more stoutier ones and they're the more nimble ones, you see.
Sure.
It's not... I wouldn't say it's as deep as a hate, boy. I'm not saying to be racist.
It's just a rivalry.
Yeah. I'm not telling you to be racist or anything, boy. Don't be a racist, boy.
Go on, I'm not.
Turn into Kratos.
Sorry, I kind of finished it.
And you'll say, yeah, there's a legend of a Norn and a halfling.
Norn?
No, sorry.
No.
Yeah, no. Long ago, they had a race. And every time, the halfling used to beat the gnome. Of course, the gnome didn't like this. He liked to win once in a while. I'd imagine it sting like, losing all the time.
That's life.
Yeah, it is, boy. I taught you well. But some people, see, they don't like to take things lying down. Like to complicate things. So, this gnome was the first inventor of the gun.
Oh.
You see, halflings, they're tinkerers like, but they usually make the fancy things.
Yeah, they make the horrible, shitty toys.
Like go-karts and, and the music boxes and the
I mean, we
Hoosics.
make them too, but ours are cooler.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. And ours are more function rather than form.
No. Okay.
And he told his halfling friends, "Do you think you can beat the bullet?"
Ooh. And did the halfling?
Originally they had a race and the bullet beat the halfling, of course.
Yeah, shot him.
Hang on, the halfling did?
No, the bullet beat the halfling.
Okay.
Now
Well,
this is...
that's to be expected.
But ever since then, we've tried to one-up each other, like.
As you do.
As you do. So, as it goes, eventually we started making faster projectiles, bigger guns, cannons, tanks, you know, and slowly but surely things got a little bit out of hand.
Sure.
We almost wiped out an entire nation.
We, as in just us gnomes?
Everyone was involved.
Meaning all races.
The greedy humans obviously wanted a piece.
Of course, they always want a piece. They're greedy.
Yeah. The dwarves, they were more interested in that how it actually worked. So they technically were involved.
We like dwarves. Dwarves are cool.
I mean, they're alright.
Okay.
The elves sided with the halflings.
Of course they did. They're pricks too.
Complete anarchy.
People nearly...
I thought you started the conversation to not be racist.
So after this long and
Everyone's
complicated
a bit
fight,
racist.
and after this long and complicated fight, the survivors decided to never let it happen again. And so all the tricks of the trade were burned, destroyed, never to be seen or heard of again. Of course, every so few hundred years, somebody comes along and...
Ooh, have you thought of this? The canon song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say, yeah?
Yeah, but there's a treaty against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been done before, like. But, there is one trick of the trade. That our family have kept close to our chest.
Okay.
Now imagine this. A bullet goes at certain speeds, right?
Absolutely.
Sometimes it shatters the sound barrier.
Absolutely. Sometimes it gets very close to the light barrier.
Yeah, but imagine if it broke beyond that.
What's beyond the light?
Everything. If you were to shoot a bullet that quick, you'd probably make something that would probably devour everything. The space in which the bullet would hit would implode on itself.
And we know.
know. I know how to make it.
And I'm about to learn.
And at that moment, fade out. Yeah. The next one was Kira.
Who's Kira?
Yet again,
flashing memories. Eventually, you go younger and younger, and you're to your teenage years.
Define teenage.
While you're still with your parents.
Moved.
That's way back.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah. You're still living in the forest, and you've set camp. And your mother is currently sitting underneath a tree. She appears to be knitting.
Am I living this again, or is it just something?
It's you've lived this. This memory. It's a memory. You've done this before.
Okay.
Same as mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yours was a memory as well. You hear her humming while she's knitting. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'll kind of like go up to her and it's like, "Hi, Ma. You want any help?"
And just say, "Oh dearie, it's so lovely to see you. Would you be a dear and put the kettle on?"
I imagine that's in the caravan, so I'll...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, have you go in then.
And she'll say, "I'll come back in a minute, Mo. I'll tell you a lovely little story while we wait for the kettle."
Okay.
And while she's knitting and you put the kettle on, probably take about 5 minutes to boil. But knowing your absent-minded self, you'll probably get distracted.
Yeah.
Oh, this can be.
And she'll say, "I'll tell you a quick one. Because obviously we've got to sort our men out, you know?"
Can I kind of clock or register that this is kind of a memory coming back, or...
Yes.
Same as me?
Yeah, same as you.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So she'll say, "Well, I've told you many stories about the Goliaths, about the Titans, about the other planes, the fire, the ice, the earth, the air, the planes beyond that."
So how do we get there?
It's a very complicated process, and not many people know about it.
Are they like here?
It's been lost to the times, dear, I'm afraid. But there are some books that remain and tell us about the wonders of the fire plane and the black city where the Ifrits live. They tell us about the air elementals that live upon clouds with the cloud giants.
Where are you going with this, Ma?
Beyond those planes, I've never told you what there was, have I, dearie?
Not really, but I have all this time to think about it myself, so...
It is what we call the Aether, dear. You see, we are not on the main plane, I'm afraid. We are on the demi-plane, a jewel in the eye of its creator. Slowly, I can't tell if she's Irish or Indian at this point.
Yeah, she's a mixture.
Yeah.
She's a mixture of quite a few at the moment,
Yeah.
sorry to say.
Yeah. It
kinda
works.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And long ago, there is a story that the demi-plane was made by a singular god. He was once mortal.
That's not better. Okay.
It's a very sad story, dearie. But the gist of it is, it's sort of like a love novella. That was close.
I lost grip of my hand, yeah.
It was like a love novella. You see, in the main plane, long ago, before anything existed, magic ran free. There was no tether.
You're from this world, aren't you?
She's from the demi plane where we are now.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, then it
Yeah.
got me complete. Sorry.
Not that you know anyway.
No,
The
I know,
main, but you know the gist of this.
Yeah.
The main plane was free, and the weave was intricate and complex.
What do you mean by the weave, Ma?
It is the thing in which magic is born, created, formed, and begins and ends.
That sounds really awfully complicated.
It is a natural force that some people can interact with. Talented people like sorcerers and to a certain extent clerics and druids.
Where did you learn this, Ma? From Gran? She's gone.
It has been stories passed down from the generations. We do like our stories, don't we, dearie?
Yeah, we do.
And you must remember them. Anyway, as I was saying, long ago, the god of magic, the original god of magic, not backup, of this larger plane of existence, went awry and resulted in the weaving almost collapsing on itself. To counterbalance this, many mages, wizards, clerics, druids, the smartest minds in existence gathered together, and underneath one man created the first miracle known to human.
Human halfling.
Human.
Which is...
In technical terms, dearie, if I had to explain it, miracles are the spells which are cast beyond those of mortal means.
Oh yeah.
This miracle was so complex and vast that it would be considered a level 13 spell. It allowed for one mortal to exchange their place with the god.
Why are you telling me this, Ma?
It is a story that you must know, for every story has a lesson, and you must learn all these lessons. I know, dearie, sometimes you just want to have fun, but life sometimes has responsibilities, and you must uphold these responsibilities, as for the halflings, we are a part of nature.
I'm guessing it's night time. I'm guessing it's night time. Okay. No, I'm confused.
The mortal exchange places with the magic god.
I thought we didn't believe in gods.
We don't, dearie. The reason is because belief in gods is to be allowing your atonement and your responsibilities to be shifted from oneself to another person. You are literally giving up your autonomy to a higher power. We halflings like to do things of our own accord. Therefore, giving up our responsibilities is considered a grave sin. We do not believe in the gods, but we do know of their existence, dearie. Belief and knowledge are two completely different things.
I think the kettle's done.
You can get the kettle if you like.
Chamomile, or what would you like tonight? Mugwort, or...
Wow, that sounds fun.
I heard that there was a new flavour in town, and I would like to taste it. I believe it was gooseberry and lime.
Do we have that in the caravan?
We should, dearie, and she'll slowly get up and sort of walk over.
No, sit down.
Okay.
You're old and stuff.
She'll sort of like scrunch her eyes up slightly and she'll say,
Yeah, you are.
You have a little bit of a smart mouth on you. Your father hasn't smacked you around enough.
Wow. I prefer Palpatine. Wow, mother. I'm gonna say mother.
Yeah.
Wow, you said mother.
Yeah.
Fucking shitballs. Alright then.
And she'll say,
Do you not see the problems in how these halflings are raised?
no, we are one with nature, serve nature, and we serve ourselves. No one else.
The tea sounds good.
Yes. So you bring the tea over, and she'll say one final thing. So, although this miracle magic was lost beyond our means, we still retain knowledges of the name of the spells that are beyond mortal means.
I'll probably just be looking at my hairy feet.
Yeah.
And then what is it? But what is it?
And she'll say, and at that moment your vision starts to fade out.
No, I gotta get that name.
Well, the name of the spell.
Yeah.
No.
Can I recall?
No, the memory fades out.
Correct.
What did you roll again, Kyle?
16.
And a 1.
No, one of the
Why
15.
you do this?
Yeah, one of the 15.
Um,
He rolled a 2 and 11, I think.
I think I'll do him last. You can sleep a little more longer.
Yeah, no.
So your consciousness is fading in and out again, and slowly but surely your memories are sort of like shifting and they're fragments, and you conclude that your brain is trying to find a way to get out of death, basically. Trying to word it in such a way because that one is going to hurt. You slowly. You get fractures of a memory. You see your mother in the kitchen. She seems to be making something. You are sitting by the table. You can't discern your age. Where this table is, why she's making something at the table. From your knowledge, this doesn't feel
really weird because we never had a kitchen.
Yeah, this is not the shadow plane that you remember. And she'll sort of like she pushes the plate in front of you, and your memories are hazy. You can't even see what's on the plate.
Sure.
And you hear a voice and say, "Eat up, dear. We haven't had a good meal in a long time."
Those sound like your words, but the environment's different.
The next thing you see is your father. This time, he looks bigger than you, so you discern a younger you, but you can't discern what he's doing. But whatever he's doing, he's dragging you along, and you're running down this pathway somewhere. And the look on his face is he's in a rush. He wants to be somewhere. Your memory fades out again. Back to your mother. This time the surroundings look a little bit more familiar. The table is still there, but it looks more tarnished, more used, more broken. And your mother looks older, a little bit more rough around the edges.
Older than she is now?
No. And she puts another plate in front of you and she'll say, "Eat along, dear. We have a long day ahead of us."
There's someone on the plate this time?
No. Fade in, fade out. This time, there's no table this time, and you're out in the open in the shadow, and you see your mother crying, and your father sort of like with his back to your mother. From your experience, you've never experienced them arguing from memory. However, this memory has resurfaced, and it seems like they're arguing over something. Whether or not this you feel like you've experienced it, but racking your brain, you think, "I don't remember this memory. However, I feel like I know it."
They're arguing over something, and you hear your mother screaming, but the only words that you can hear are Paylor, 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 like over and over and over again. But the other words are haze. And your father just looks down at your mother and just walks away. The final thing you hear, complete darkness, but you hear your mother's voice again, and you hear Paylor will always guide you, dear, even in the darkest of places, for he is the sun and the light. Dan.
Is that a voice? Was it a feminine voice or just a?
It was your mother's voice.
Okay.
What did you roll, Dan?
2 and a 12.
Okay. A 2 and a 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on that one, but it's still pretty low. This time, your memories are hazy and fragments. Eventually, things start to click together, and you open your eyes, and you find yourself in a forest during winter. But you are yourself. You're not a younger person. You are your current self. But you haven't experienced what the other characters have experienced, so I don't know what your character's thinking at this moment. About 50 feet or so away, you see one man, and he's holding a singular sword, and he's doing the same action over and over again. He's just swinging his sword down, going back to his stance, swinging his sword down over and over again. About 5 feet from him, you see a little boy, and he's hiding behind one of the trees, just watching this man. What would you like to do?
Continue watching.
You watch for a little while, and in the situation, though it's only a fraction of a second you're experiencing this, time moves on, and this man is doing this movement for hours. 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, just swinging this long sword over and over and over again. Eventually, the boy looks like he's starting to daze, fall asleep next to the tree. And then a woman walks behind him and sort of like leans into him and starts talking to him. What would you like to do?
I don't know. I'll just keep watching. I honestly don't know.
Roll perception.
9.
Roll at advantage.
11.
I helped.
Though you are standing by 50 feet away from them, you hear the woman's voice almost like she's whispering in your ear. And you hear, Warwick, you know you shouldn't be out at this time of night. You shouldn't be watching your master train at this time of night. And you assume this is your smaller self, and you hear, but Mum, I've been watching him for hours, and he's just done the same thing over and over again. If it was me, I would have frozen to death. And you begin to realise this man, all he's wearing is trousers. But he's doing this swing over and over and over again.
And she'll say, well, you know the Master's teachings, but you are aware of our existence, right? And you hear yourself go, yeah, Mum, technically we're just fragments of a story. And she'll say, that's right, Warwick, we're not. We are experiencing things as they currently are, but they may not be as we see it. Your master has found a way to interact with things that should be, that are currently not are. And that is why he can do movement in this cold for so long without suffering at all. And one day you too will know this, but for now, let us return home. And she'll sort of pull you along past the trees. The last thing you see is roll another perception check.
I wish it was. That'd be hilarious. No, this one's the best one yet. 15.
Hey, they got progressively better.
Yeah.
I mean,
What was it, sorry?
15.
So
Nice,
beyond the
yeah.
trees, you see another figure. It looks like a child, but slightly smaller than your average child. You conclude it must be a halfling child of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond the halfling child, you see a tall woman with black hair and a green dress sort of walk away from the trees.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I guess we'll try and follow the woman in green.
You are led to what appears to be a large cliff, and you're on top of this cliff. And as you look down with this woman, who you believe to be a Venya, not well, she looks like a Venya, you see this large forest and the moon in the sky. And it's a very beautiful sight. It's winter, obviously, so the scene is very scenic. It's almost like a postcard.
Cake. Cake.
Yeah.
No, I'm still got burger.
Cake for cake, short future.
Maybe, I don't know. And she'll sit at the edge of this cliff and she'll sort of pat the space next to her.
I guess I go up and join her.
And you'll hear her say, "It's very beautiful, isn't it?"
It's certainly a picturesque view.
Currently where you are, you are close to death. What you're experiencing right now is a combination of a past memory and my intrusions to try and save you and your friends.
Save us from what?
Fate's about to kill you and restart the game.
Why does he want to restart the game? What game?
Before that, and I'll explain it to the rest of your friends, I have a proposition for you.
I guess I'm ears.
It's very simple. I want you to work for me.
Okay, how?
You will become entitled my bodyguard. I don't really need a bodyguard. However, your connection to your friends would remain, and it intrigues me. You'd become my bodyguard, you'd travel with me, and essentially keep me from harm's way. I can keep myself from harm's way, but the extra insurance is a plus. Of course, I'll pay you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no downside, really. Can I expect your answer now?
Just a moment. I actually need to think this.
You tend to have an out
Yeah.
because you have another character that you're going to swap to anyway. If he's restarting the game, like, Warwick won't exist in the current universe. That's what I'm getting at.
What have I got to lose? I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I'm at a crossroads again. Might as well take one path. See what happens.
So you come to work with me. That'll mean leaving your party.
Can I at least leave them something?
You can leave them eventually. I'll give you some time with them.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're ready to leave, just come to the royal capital and I will welcome you with open arms. So we have a deal?
We have a deal.
And she'll hold her hand out. Okay. I'll wait for the other two to return. Basically what happened is your roll was higher than his, it wasn't an at one, but you couldn't see the entire memory.
Mm.
So you only saw half a memory and then a venue's proposition.
That's where it comes from. Yeah, no, I know.
Does no one really want cases?
No.
Really nicely tasty
Come
cases.
sit down.
Big cases.
Oh, are we all back together now, are we?
Maybe.
Has the
Okay, well I'm
visions
gonna go
ended?
pee real quick then.
What?
And in English, please.
Oh.
Can you use that phrase in a sentence?
Hold on. Is it alright? No, I picked well
The
then.
cake is gorgeous. The cake is alive.
Gorgeous
Like I
bit of
said,
wine.
I thought I had it before and it was decent,
Mmm.
but the cupcakes I saw was shit.
Do you want some?
No,
Okay, post cake. It's not like patty cake.
I can't bake more.
So,
Yeah.
No, no one dead.
We'll find out.
Yay. So the weather was alright today.
Yeah, it was nice until, yeah, good. What a good time this is.
What?
Having a gay old time.
Okay,
old time. So after Ravenia's conversation with you, the area around you starts to melt away and you're in a black space with Ravenia.
Worse than I thought, sorry.
And then slowly, one by one, you see the rest of your party members phase into this black space. So it's the four of you in Avenia
As we look now,
Yeah.
not
Not younger
younger selves. Okay. And Avenia is still there, was
Yeah.
it?
And she'll sort of give like a half curtsy and say, I greet the players, she says.
Players?
What's a player?
I've heard it's someone who has many women.
I thought I was in
I have these
character.
pixies.
Are they still there?
I mean, if I'm in a teenage phase, I would have gone cooking with the pixies.
Maybe.
Oh fuck yeah.
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 Forgot about
Dude, it was night time though.
that. Oh.
Then you-
That's when they come out and play. I mean,
I just point out these two then.
I'm confused.
So,
What's going on? Why are we here? What's going on? I'm confused.
I would imagine so. Just take my words as the truth.
Why?
What have you got to lose? You are on the verge of dying, and I'm doing everything in my power to prevent that. You either die now and restart the story, the campaign, the book, or you trust me and I can give you a loophole,
I've
an
tried reading
option.
books before, they're boring.
You haven't read the
How
right
much
books
does that
then.
pay you to say?
You see,
How much does that phrase hurt?
if I was to explain you to your
Role-playing, mate.
if I was to explain you to your characters, because I think your players have put 2 and 2 together at this point, you are all characters in a book. You are not real, and you are the machinations of your readers.
Can I check to see if I reckon that she's trying to trick us or
Sure, roll insight.
like
So, I'm not real.
30, 20 plus what's the 24?
Yes. She seems honest, forthright.
So I'm not real.
No.
None
of us are real. Well, there are some exceptions.
But I can feel myself and
I'm glad it was you that did that.
Within our reality as we know it, we in theory are real. But have you ever wondered what is real and what is not real?
yeah.
Nope.
There's a term in the industry, the writing industry, called liminality. Have you ever heard or experienced this? It is when you are so engrossed. Okay. It is when you are so engrossed in what you are reading, what you are experiencing, that your subconsciousness and your consciousness are in a different place. It is the grey area in which your consciousness is in a different place, but in the same place at the same time. In theory,
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
well, you were all made up by your players, given identities, a life. You
Gave me a shitty life.
Fuck for you. Wait until you hear about mine.
But to your players, they are just wouldn't even call you extensions of themselves. You are just tools to an end to a means.
To what tool to what means?
Mm-hmm. That.
To get together and socialise once a week.
What a week.
You know what
I
a
mean,
week
you
is.
should know what a week is.
There's weeks in game, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But I'm not even okay. Why?
I'm sure that your players and possibly your characters have experienced liminality. When you've been so engrossed in your character, or maybe something you're reading and doing, that you dream about it. Or you put yourselves in their shoes for a second.
What are you talking about when it comes to players and characters and sheets?
I'm not over that bit yet.
My ma used to say a sheet is when we go to the back for. Who are you exactly?
My name, as stated by your friend, is Avenia. Unfortunately, the system has become altered from what the game creator has planned.
Can I not clock, considering I'm a champion of a god of life, that this is a natural thing? When it comes to god shaping and god shenanigans.
This, because of your 24, this sounds God related.
What?
Basically, from your mind.
DM, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From your mind, mortals are here, but gods are on a different level. They are on a different dimension axis from humans.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, humans are chess pieces for gods.
Yeah.
What it sounds like is that you, the person, are a chess piece for a player.
Stuart's calling us gods. We are gods. Was the one god in our story you?
I think we're more than chess pieces.
Demi-plane.
So, here's the deal. Fate was originally the DM's piece in the game. A completed integrity and individual that represented the DM, the god,
You say something.
the god in the world which the players interacted.
It seems like he's cheating.
Yeah.
However,
Don't cheat.
on your first interaction with Fate, instead of introducing himself as the DM, he introduced himself as Fate. Because this happened, a personality diverge happened, and he got his own sentience. The second time you met Fate, he became more erratic.
Okay, you're right.
His sentience is slowly becoming
Evolving.
complete.
Okay. So Fate is his own now.
He believes himself still to be the one true god, the ruler of the game, the person that is pulling the strings behind the curtain.
I Stuart.
However, him and the DM, once the character,
Coincided with each other.
once Fate introduced himself as Fate and not as the DM, he no longer functioned as the DM, but still believes himself to be so.
Why did he give me this book?
What book?
My book.
Books are hard.
No, they're not.
That was
I mean,
the
they fall on your head there, aren't
that was the
Ouch.
DM
Not hard.
forcing Fate to give you a clue into how you can interact with the world physically.
When? Now?
I like
When
poking.
he gave Kylan the book. Kylan.
One day. One day.
Just as the campaign reaches an end of Kylan.
You were talking about a deal.
It's rain.
He didn't want you to interfere with him, correct?
Yes.
I believe Fate is aware that the DM has given you access to 2 tools in which to override his authority.
Had a ball on it as well.
So you're saying if I try to write in this book and say
I like the balls.
maybe
I was going.
turn it back in 2 minutes,
Thank you.
that this would happen to us.
Sorry, what was the question? Sorry, these guys all stop talking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Something like few words.
If I use the book to turn time back to before he tried to kill us all, that would work.
Unfortunately, the paths have diverged from themselves. And I believe Fate is trying to reset the game, because he believes by resetting the game, he can go back to being the official DM. Currently, the anomalies...
So Fate is trying to kill off this DM, basically.
No, he's trying to kill you off to end the game, so...
No, I think Fate is the DM.
Yeah, oh shit, okay.
No,
My head hasn't
no,
got
the
any of
Fate
this.
was the DM, and now he is.
And by introducing himself as Fate, he made himself sentient.
It's like a double personality thing.
Like we haven't seen a running pattern of that.
Yeah.
I've seen one.
You see.
Okay, so what are we gonna do now then?
The DM has already given you one of many tools that you could use to
What do you
alleviate
what do you
Fate's
mean by
problem.
And how? And what?
The
would-
one true God.
I don't know this god.
Averna.
Can I?
Just
Ba-
just as
basically-
easily as you have accepted Fate as the
Basically, I
creator.
think he's saying he's zero.
I believe Aetherius to be the true god.
What about the other gods?
They were not fitting into my purpose.
That's fine.
Think of a god beyond your god.
That would make
I
her
can't.
god a demigod.
That would make her
Or a
god.
godling.
That would make her god a tool for another god.
I can't.
Roll nature.
Oh yeah, well.
We were told by Viola the whole story of the 7 gods.
Dirty 20.
You know that there's a god hierarchy.
Yeah.
So you know there are lower gods, intermediate gods,
For once.
upper gods, dimensional gods. You know stories such as things of Lady of Pain, if you know who that is in player.
For once I wanted a low roll.
Why?
Because you wanted to act like you wanted the character to be
Sure. Bad.
disbelieving.
We could
Yeah.
have failed. Chosen to fail.
So from what Avenia is describing, this god is probably higher
So
in
zero.
hierarchy.
So
No,
zero.
even higher than zero.
Zero was
Why?
the 7th god.
Why doesn't my
But
god
now they're
talk about
insinuating
you?
there's an 8th god.
No, it's
Talks about the
insinuating
DM.
that there's a god of the 7.
Because
Exactly, an 8th god.
they are unaware of the DM.
It's all too confusing.
So how are they
Yep.
taught in school and
School's relative.
So,
Anyway, so what are the options you've given us?
the DM,
Right.
I'm speaking on behalf of the DM.
Okay, so Vernius is now.
Avenia is talking on behalf of me, basically. Unfortunately, Fate is
Busy.
predisposed, and Aura has only just woken up, who's next in the hierarchy. Unfortunately, she's a child, so
Oh ho, oh ho. So Aura is above you.
that's correct.
Was she created,
Oh shit.
not birthed?
Your definitions of creation and birth have to be very loose to explain what Aura is. I'm sure within due course, my adopted daughter Viola will figure things out.
Oh yeah, fair. I remember that. Okay then.
When you're so sure of this, she seems to reject the idea of fate.
She does.
I have a feeling that she rejects it because she is aware of the DM's existence. If I were to explain it, anomalies, there are only a certain number of them.
Anomaly. I'm doing that in
You-
character.
You could say NPCs are fragments of something much larger.
How do you
Larder.
know about NPC?
Larger. People that you interact with,
Not us.
not you.
So,
Anomalies are larger than fragments. They are shards.
Right.
And she turns to Warwick and says, the original name of the campaign, or the first campaign,
I am listening.
the original name of the campaign, do you remember it?
Time Delvers.
yeah, Time Delvers.
No, the
Oh,
one
God.
before it.
That's what,
All I know was Time Delvers.
that's what we're
Oh
called.
god.
Why would you look to him? I mean, I'm gonna say that we all said that. And
His player has played a previous campaign related to this one.
There's 7 gods or something, I think.
No, it's
No.
a simpler title than that.
Oh god.
She'll just tell you anyway. It was called The Broken Promise.
there's something about that somewhere. We've heard before.
Why the broken promise?
Is there a person?
The DM long ago made a story for us. Mostly me and Aura. We were sentient creations that he likes to think about a lot. Me being a powerful person,
Sure.
or having sort of that innocence demeanor while at the same time being powerful herself.
Okay.
We are both fallacies.
Okay.
We are simply fantasies of the DM that he likes to think about every once in a while.
Okay.
Because of that, Aurora and I have some level of sentience.
Sure.
Fate has more sentience. I believe every once in a while he can act like the DM and be like the DM. But he seems a bit more erratic.
Erratic as in.
He's a
How
pet-
well do you know him?
He's a petulant child.
How well do you know him?
Fate?
Yeah.
Fate originally wasn't in the previous campaign.
Oh.
What be my campaign?
The last story, which was related to this one.
Ooh.
Anyway, you're all about to die.
The broken
Yeah.
promise. What can you tell us about that?
Technically, we're not about
The
to die.
DM promised me, Nora, a conclusion to the story.
And that hadn't happened.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
So originally this story was I was meant to be the villain. The person that you were meant to fight at the end of a long and arduous journey.
Mhm.
After collecting the god weapons,
Us.
the champions, that's right.
Our job was to find out who the new king is
Yeah.
and why everything was blacked out 250 years ago.
They're all connected.
Sure. Go on.
However, the moment the fate was introduced to the story, as a side plot, things became more complicated.
Okay.
It messed up with the hierarchy.
Okay.
The DM brings himself in the game, although it wasn't his intention or his mistake.
Sure.
Fate becoming his own being was not in the DM's equations.
Oh. Then what of Derek?
Derek was made by all of you in theory.
But was that part of his plans?
No.
But how does that one get slipped by them?
In some books, you get a concept called a mascot. He is essentially. He's essentially a character that you endeavour to interact with.
Sure.
A character that you have grown accustomed to like even.
A recurring.
A recurring character that
Was
you
Derek
like.
ever meant to even be owned by you guys?
I don't say I own him. I think he looks up to me.
That's
Down to me.
arrogant.
Down to me. We did get him out of the furnace thing. You know what happened, right?
Yeah, kind
So
of.
are we the
Yeah,
only
well,
ones affected by this reset?
Well,
Or will
If all four of-
everyone we know also be affected?
if all four of you die, either the story will end as is,
Mm-hmm.
or will be remade once again. From the beginning.
Right.
There will be differences, different characters, different players, possibly. Over and over again. Until the story gets a conclusion.
Oh.
Sugar bowls.
Sounds good to me. Why not? Let's do that.
Whatever story your players, you come up with, is entirely up to you. Have you ever wondered why you're so strong compared to everyone else? Why everything seems to go right whenever you interact with something? Yeah, sure, you hit some milestones, but it goes a little bit too smoothly.
You, Derek, gave them all
Because-
super strong weapons.
She says.
And you.
She says that didn't really
I was
help.
on-
you.
I was on the path of a god.
I just want to go home.
Yes, and you can continue to follow that path if that's what your character wants to do, or you want to do.
I don't know what else to follow. This is what message I got given.
This may sound cliche, but maybe you simply need to follow your heart.
I did. I get a pebble and I actually cast magic stone.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing happens.
Oh.
What do you mean nothing happens? If
No.
I throw a pebble, what happens?
The stone disappears from your hand before you throw it.
Shit.
Well, that's silly, isn't it?
And Vanya says in this
Maybe
space.
your journey's
Your
ended.
combats and your experiences
Can't find
seem
anything
irrelevant
else
to
to do.
the experiences I have.
I can't.
If you feel the need to diminish my pebble,
I didn't diminish it.
What's wrong with
Where we are.
where
right-
are we?
Are you arguing with the DM?
We are.
It's really
You are
confusing.
currently on your deathbed. You are
So
going
we're
to
in
die.
limbo.
Yes, you are going to die unless you put the key.
How long have we got?
Well, infinitely, technically,
Oh,
but
sweet. So.
you could stay here in the
Pretty
darkness.
Bye
dead.
then.
Yeah, you could stay in the darkness here forever if you like.
Bye then.
When you say pre-dead forever, yeah.
Has anyone else heard of this game? It's called D&D. No, so.
Main plot unlocked.
If I give you, the DM says he's given you a tool that can interact
The dog.
beyond.
The dog says he's a tool.
You're not wrong there.
Technically,
Don't-
Derek gave you that.
I don't think. Okay, go on.
The DM has given you a tool which allows you to interact beyond the dice and the game mechanics.
Which is what?
I don't believe a word you're saying. I just want to go home and live with my family.
What
Well-
tool?
I can't really give you a direct answer.
Why not?
So why mention it?
Yeah, if you want to
Because the DM wants you to
figure it out. for
figure it
yourself.
out together as a
Okay.
collective.
So what is our next goal?
Well, in the story, technically you're meant to be finding the champions and the weapons, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finding the seekers.
That is our messages, yes.
Yes.
The city of the dead.
However, that is the in-game story.
Right.
Game.
However, the story, what you know as people,
But you're saying it's a game.
yes. Beyond the what you know, I feel like I'm going in circles around here.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
carry on.
There is another game being played beyond the one that you are playing. There are two stories coinciding together, and they must both reach a conclusion.
Why is this relevant now?
Because you either die now, or you can figure out the tool in which the DM has given you.
Just send me back.
If I send you back now, you just die.
Well, you said you'd prevent me from dying.
No, she's.
You know, you're in limbo.
She's
We've had this-
preventing you from dying now.
Exactly. So, that's the end of this is if we
She
decide
can't hold it forever.
I'll be alive.
I recently managed to heal a god. This was my purpose. I don't know anything other than that. That has been my purpose for a few years. I don't know anything other than this.
Right.
If you seriously mean that this means that I die now, so be it.
Yeah, throw us a hint.
When you first made your characters, other than that character sheet and the in-game mechanics, the DM asked you a question
Okay.
relating to a mechanic which is usually not connected to the game. And each of you gave different answers varying on what your characters believed wanted.
I asked for Hunter's Mark.
That is correct, and you got Hunter's Mark.
I did.
Your character wanted to be the best gunsmith, therefore you asked for a spell which increases your gun's damage.
Gun damage.
I focused on the Fae and the gods.
You asked for wings.
Yeah.
And you got your wings.
Yeah.
What did you ask for?
I can't remember.
Oh, no.
You didn't ask for anything.
Yes, I thought that's what I was thinking.
What did
So
Warwick ask for?
originally, the DM wanted you to
Don't
become
know.
the avatar of backup. However, when your character refused it, and rightly so, because you don't want to be a part of this plane for much longer, for as long as you want as necessary, the DM gave you a tool in which you could freely interact outside of the game.
Oh, is that book thing he keeps
Yes.
rattling
What
on?
book thing?
Oh, he keeps rattling on about that book, remember?
Oh, well, I haven't
Okay.
seen anything.
It's nothing there. He just keeps holding his hand up in the air.
And Warwick asked
Warwick
for
asked-
something that he has trained and earned over the years, a skill which allows him to dodge attacks when necessary.
Which was? Dodge attacks from this.
Evasion.
Wait, it's a homebrew feat similar to evasion.
Nice. Right.
So
We asked for something and we got it. So if we ask for something again, will we get it?
17 years ago, in 245 days, I was born from my parents.
Is that how many days it is?
This is all very confusing to me. And I wanted...
I believe the DM is satisfied with your answers, because essentially what he's saying is he gave you abilities which enhanced your characters beyond the game
Yeah,
mechanics.
he did, yeah. Okay.
However, in recent times, with the exception of Aiden's ability, the abilities have come a bit.
Muddled.
They're a bit. They're not only stale, but they're treated as another mechanic within the game.
Okay.
The-
Sure.
The DM, in good faith, is going to each show you an example when you leave this plane. What could potentially happen?
Are you saying we're going to remain alive?
Yes. What the fuck was that?
You will each gain an ability which is fitting to your character, which the DM sees fit.
Right.
And lose the ones...
Not
Lose.
no.
Made by-
Yeah, I get that.
Your
Character.
essentially your abilities
Okay,
will
okay.
change and evolve. You
Oh.
may lose some stuff. You may gain stuff. It all depends on what the DM sees fit.
Okay then. And what does the DMC fit now then?
Well, when you wake up,
Mm-hmm.
You get nerfed.
your memories will come back to you.
What happens when we wake up?
Our memories will come back.
But no, but
The memory
Yeah.
that the DM showed each of you before
and then
coming
what do we
here.
do?
Oh, so... Okay.
What do we do then?
We use that knowledge.
We work for her.
Three different
If
answers.
that's what it was, that's what happens for you, then there you go.
What
But
happens if I stay dead?
then you create a new character.
Then you die and you will not exist anymore.
For what purpose and what help?
No, you
But-
won't help anyone.
But as a champion at the time of death, don't she get the choice of becoming like an angel thing?
I
Don't think this
believe
death works like that.
I believe Aetherius will not give you that choice now
Oh, fair.
because of
Reasons?
because of something which not the DM is doing, but what me Avenia is doing.
Are you telling that to me now?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Stopping us from death.
You'll find out in time
If I choose to stay alive.
if you choose to stay alive.
I choose to stay alive. I like this
I
life.
It's pretty obvious what I've said before.
You seem really indifferent to everything other than I want to go home.
I don't see the purpose.
This
What,
whole
living?
thing baffles me. I just want to go
Finish
back to
my
how it
goal.
was.
Oh, really? Is this?
I'm my own person,
Are you
not
really
controlled
gonna
by
do that?
someone that
Oh,
you
no.
talk about.
Oh no.
Right.
I want to survive. If you want it written in black and white, I want to survive.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Warwick, I'm assuming you want to survive since of the newly agreed contract we've made.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Semantics.
Okay. When would we be alive too?
I will lower this ability and you will be sent back to the moment just before you die when you were being enveloped by fate's strings of fate.
Sure.
You will be given one opportunity
So make it count. You don't want to miss the show.
to roll the dice.
When it comes
Don't let
to
me roll the dice.
when it comes to the god of life, what do I understand of the concept of death? Do I understand any importance or any nature towards the concept
The
of death?
goddess of life has little to do with the death sequence.
Yeah, but does it understand, like, in my experience of working with it, is there any importance? Is there any...
I mean, dying is
relevance?
important. It's a part of the
Yeah, of
cycle.
course. Yeah.
So, yes, dying. Like, I don't understand the question. Like, if you were to die now, if you're asking me, if you were to die now, you technically wouldn't fulfill what Aetherius asked you to do.
Yeah, okay, that's the kind of answer I was looking for.
Because she told you, look for the other champions, look for the champion weapons.
Yeah.
I want you to be my representative in the upcoming war.
Yeah.
The war hasn't happened.
Nope.
Okay. Fine, I'm alive.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to work on what we were just told by our backstory.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here.
Right, okay. And then you'll say, I wish you good luck
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
and a Happy New Year. And she'll sort of wave and you'll fade out. And then your eyes suddenly shock open and you're still being enveloped by the red strings. Now, I'm all going to give you one action, and I want you to say what you're going to do with the action, and then I want you to do a roll based on what you say. So we'll go around the table. We'll start off with you.
Die.
As in...
So, based off what Avenia has told you, your memory, and what you want your character to do, what action are you going to do before you die?
As in...
In this final moment.
Okay. How free are my arms?
You could...
Have I dropped the shotgun by this point?
No, you were holding the shotgun when you
Yeah.
were wrapped up.
Yeah. But by the time that I've sort of gone and come back,
Yeah.
have I dropped the shotgun from being
No.
tied up? So the shotgun
still in
is
your
still
arms.
very much in my
Yeah, yeah.
hands. Okay, how tied up am I?
Um,
Have I got a bit of freedom of movement to go for dagger at side and try and cut?
no.
No? Right.
You've got a limited movement. You're not completely restricted, but let's just say you can barely move your arms.
Oh, like, given the nature of everything, I'm kind of locked into this zone, really.
Do you want me to go the other way around while you think about it?
Don't know.
We'll start with you then.
Okay, I want to succumb to my celestial power deep inside my body and just become a beacon of divine celestial energy in the room with lights pouring out of my eyes, out of my mouth.
I went for this,
Fully embrace my belief in Palor and channel the sun as best as I could from my blood.
Roll religion with advantage.
Roll what, sorry?
Roll religion with advantage.
19 plus 3, 22.
As the strings slowly envelop you, your character thinks, what Venya said, you could not be real. You could be real. You could be an extension of someone else. You could be your own person. In this time, in this moment, you don't want to die. You want to go back home. You want to worship your one true God. You want to help your father. You want to be with your mother. Feeling these things and in your final moments thinking, I am with Palor. As you said, your skin slowly sort of like sheds this bright light, and the strings go right through you.
Right, okay. Nothing might just fall.
Yeah, it just falls completely off you.
I'm going to think of the memory of my grandfather.
Yeah.
And what he told me.
Roll an attack gun with your shotgun.
Ooh. All pluses?
With advantage.
With advantage. And all pluses, yeah?
Yeah.
14, that's a 25.
You feel the inside of your barrel give, which can only be described as a room.
Sure.
It almost feels like there's a second barrel growing within your original barrel.
What? Did I miss something?
There's a barrel within your barrel.
Okay. Okay.
And with
Mine just went to the gutter.
and the with the force that can only be described as something close to a black hole.
Okay.
You basically rip through the strings like nothing, like the
As
bullet.
described by
Yeah.
the bullet.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Who wants to go next after you two?
Strike pose.
Hmm?
Strike pose. Make a stance.
Roll an attack roll with advantage, obviously.
Okay.
Is this with what weapon?
With Alfred and Tish.
Alfred?
Fred? Alfred? Freddie?
Tish, and what's his name?
Tish, and what's his name?
1, 2, 1, 2.
30.
Jesus Christ. As you hold your sword in your hand, you feel what can only be described as serenity within yourself. You slowly breathe in and breathe out and control your breathing, and like butter, you simply lift your sword up and cut through the threads.
You just cut through one.
Strike pose.
Yours, do you want me to give you some clues?
What was the thing?
What did your mother say? What would your character truly want?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing, to be honest, with it.
Do you want me to help you, or
Kira's state with this in the moment is nothing.
I want you to roll an intelligence roll.
Is that a polite
What
way
you
of
want
saying,
is a
hey,
barrel
clock something?
inside of his barrel, inside the barrel.
Under 15, 13.
Right, so what Kira cares about most, as of now, is serving Aetherius.
Yeah.
Nature.
Mm.
Ron.
Mm.
Obviously, because you're his mum. And she's started to understand the complexities of planes.
Mm.
What, as Kira, what are you drawn more towards? This is me asking as a DM.
To be honest, in regards of life, instinctually, the main thing which should come up is the Fae. If anything, she may decide to spread her wings and move out from that. If anything. But in regards to the questioning of life and moving on from it.
So your top priority is to be with the Fae?
Not top priority, but top instincts when it comes to entering death.
Alright, I want you to roll nature check with advantage.
24.
That's pretty high. As the threads close on you, you see your friends, your party members, one by one, slowly working their way out of the threads. In this blink of an eye, you see Warren cut the threads. You see him sort of like evaporate the threads. You see him shoot a bloody mini black hole, essentially.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You think to yourself, I think mostly you just want to be free.
Mm.
You don't want to be held down by this string. You don't want to be held down by responsibilities. You just want to serve a purpose, to live a life, to be with your fae friends, your pixies, your dryads, your satyrs. I mean, you want to live in the moment. You don't want... And you think, although I would die now and I would have no regrets, you want to continue living because there's stuff to do, and you realise maybe the responsibilities aren't necessarily a curse, but a necessity for me to get what I want, freedom. And in that moment, in your hand is that tiny little acorn.
Nice. Why not? Yeah, alright.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
That song just starts playing somewhere, and we're just like, wait, what's this?
Play a song.
You see that tiny little acorn in your hand that you've had for such a long time, that had other purposes, that you for some reason have kept a hold on for so long, and you realise, you look at this little acorn and you think, please, I just want to do what I want to do. And in that moment, the acorn turns from brown to gold. And then you notice next to you, Ron, who is unaffected by the strings, turn into an elder dragon.
Pardon your French?
Excuse you?
Turn into an elder dragon.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Like
no,
massive
the
elder
DM
dragon.
just said that, right?
Yeah, I'm alive too. Pinch me.
Doesn't need a mum. Doesn't need a mum anymore. He probably breaks. He's
So we
too
skipped
big
a
for the
step.
room.
He skipped
2
2 steps. He went from wormling to adult to adult
3.
to
We have an
There's
elder
ancient.
dragon.
There's
Ancient
young,
elder.
there's adolescent, and then there's a regular,
yeah,
and then
ancient and then elder. And for a fraction of a second, you watch as with a single talon, Ron just cuts through threads. And then after about 2 seconds, poof, and he's back to being a wormling.
Oh shit.
Rip off.
Fuck, I thought I wasn't gonna feed him anymore. Shit.
I just thought we were gonna have an OP motherfucker in the group.
Sorry, but 3 wish spells a day is not fun.
Why was that just... Did I just think that was hallucination, or I think that was some tiny, whiny...
It's whatever you want the player to be. Yeah.
I don't play games to break the fourth wall.
Yeah, I agree.
You need
Yeah.
you need to think more like Steingates.
Oh, we're not time traveling with a fucking microwave, okay? We're playing games. I'm gonna show you the anime at some point.
Okay, I'll get the reference.
You'll really like that anime.
One day I'll get the reference, guys.
You'll really like
One
it.
day, so will I.
Yeah, I know he'll like it.
Cool.
Basically, imagine Doctor Who, but anime.
Oh, okay. And with a microwave instead of a blue box.
Kinda. Okay. And bananas. Instead of
Jolly
Daleks.
baby.
I don't know.
Okay.
You'll
I'll
find out.
get it one day.
So you're all through the threads, and with a look of confusion, anger.
Where did I go when I took black hole?
punched myself.
Why?
Can I
Out
have
of
a half
confusion.
in my life?
It's over 9,000!
What? 9,000?
Because the whole entire time we haven't really rolled initiative, I'm not going to roll initiative between you and Fate at this time.
Ooh. Okay.
Roll for initiative!
No, don't roll initiative.
I'm rolling for initiative.
Sorry?
I don't like any fruits.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
20.
Okay.
He hasn't asked us to yet. I'm not gonna roll it. That's how I roll.
We will go around the table,
Ooh.
but instead of going this way, we'll go that. No, she's disappeared. Kylan, what would you like to do?
Can we have you her?
Roll an attack
So-
roll.
When I did the black hole shock anything, where did I end up?
Or where you originally were.
Where I was. Right. Okay.
8.
Natural 1.
Oh shit.
Damn it.
Fuck's sake.
I
I mean, you relied on dice rolls being good here.
It's still a game.
You can give us great stories and great leads, but dice rolls,
Are cunts.
nope.
Conclusion of the story: the dice are the true gods. That's how we all lost.
So you watch as Aiden, there's light all around him, and the light slowly dissipates from him and gathers into this one spherical orb in front of him.
Nice.
And a very large beam appears out of his hands and is thrown about 50 to 60 meters towards Fate. However, Fate dodges, but then you realise Fate normally doesn't dodge attacks.
Yeah, she does.
He normally just stands there and takes them, or they just go through him. This is the first time.
Something's clicked and then that's gone. Oh fuck.
As an
I've gotta
FYI,
get
everyone within 30 feet of me takes 4 damage.
We're going to sort out the mechanics after.
Mechanically, I'm already dead.
Warwick,
Really?
what would you like to do?
Okay.
Actually, I may actually be mechanically dead. How many rounds has it been since you've glimmered on?
Sorry?
How many rounds has it been since you've torched on? Because I may already be dead.
Just now.
Okay, good. So it's only been 1 round. Okay, good. I've got 4 rounds to live. It's fine. Trish, shoot his fucking face off.
How are you holding Trish when you say this?
Well, I've got sword and pose, so
So she's an Aegis attached to your crossbow.
yeah.
You watch as the arrow, for the first time, goes from a regular arrow to a golden one.
You haven't let the true gods decide yet.
I think he's given up on that idea.
Roll an attack roll.
Yay.
That one.
The
That
van.
one.
No, I'm not.
No.
That isn't that one. Sorry, Aidan. That's a 23. Hang on. Am I allowed to use what's it called?
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter.
Sure.
-10.
No. So 18.
You watch as the arrow flies past again, not hitting him. However, you see the arrow slightly graze his cheek, and as it grazes his cheek, you see a slight trickle of blood appear on his cheek, and he's gone from anguish to confused after his being to be even more confused and shocked. And the moment your arrow hit and hurt him, he looks slightly scared now.
Good. Because I'm about to wail on his ass.
Okay, your turn.
I can get 2 attacks off in the turn, is that right?
With extra attack, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, roll an attack.
And then as a bonus, I make my small arm appear.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so here's the first shotgun.
I
It's
did
a
one of
14.
the attacks, but hey ho.
That misses. However,
Yeah.
the small, what can only be described as a small black hole, slowly edges towards Fate. Fate dodges it, sort of mockingly, thinking, "Oh, I was scared for a second, but not this projectile's moving really slowly."
Yeah.
But then he
shotgun. Okay.
But then he realizes there's pull to this wherever this black hole, this black spherical thing.
Sure.
And he realizes, you think he steps back and he seems concerned that
Okay.
something has tried to move him without his consent.
Okay. Seeing the confusion on his face,
Yeah.
would I be able to see that there's pull to?
Yes.
Okay. Thinking shotgun, obviously the spread of shots.
Yeah.
That it's. I'm thinking in character
Yeah.
as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's not focused enough.
Yes.
Would a focused shot be better? So I sort of just go, cock it, drop it,
Yeah.
pistol appears, boof.
Give it a go.
Yeah. So cocked it.
You want?
I've dropped it.
Yeah. Okay.
Boofed. So yeah. Drop roll. Oh for fuck! You're going to prison. That's a 7-3 in a row, plus 11, making it
14.
another 14.
You watch as your pistol slightly changes like your shotgun did, and a barrel, instead of, you feel like the barrel getting heavier, like the second barrel, the barrel gets slightly longer and elongates slightly, but it still feels the same weight. It's very odd.
Okay.
And as you shoot it, the projectile is far more quicker this time.
There we are.
And Fate only has maybe a second to dodge it.
Sure. Okay. So then the obvious last third shot, making an 18 on the dice, making a 29.
Yeah, this one actually hits.
Boofed.
You watch as he tries to dodge, but it pulls his arm in slightly, and you watch as some of his sleeve is torn off, and you see that his hand is taken. What can only be just, his hand looks slightly mangled.
Ooh.
Roll damage.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be normal damage for now. We'll have to work out the
That's
mechanics.
fine. That's up to you. Yeah.
We'll have to work out the mechanics later.
2d8. Where's another d8? Plus 7, and then all of the different elementals as
Yeah.
well. So here is 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then do you need to know the different elements?
Nope.
Nope. So here.
Not at this current time.
Cool. Here is those 3, 4, 5, 6. So
That Fate has taken that damage. And for you, what would you like to do against Fate?
24 damage. Oh, what's going on here?
The golden acorn's still in your hand.
That's not what I'm doing at all. I don't think it's gonna hit.
What are you doing?
I'm actually throwing a pebble at him.
Okay
then. Did you roll an attack, sorry?
Yeah, I'm checking the.
I think it's just spell attack roll.
I'm adding now. Yeah, that's all. So that's 13 to hit a pebble.
So obviously you miss.
Yeah.
However, as you throw the pebble, it can only be described as shape changes. You notice the pebble grow larger and slowly grow what can only be described as pixie wings. And then a scaly, long body appears underneath these wings. Your pebble has turned into a fey dragon wormling.
Shit.
And
Dragons.
flies towards fate
Nice.
and avoids the now fading dragon. And the moment that before it hits the wall, it disappears.
Ooh. Back into a normal rock.
Bonus
Yes.
action. If are we in initiative?
No, this is just one action
I
to
did get my action.
do something to fate.
Okay.
I did get my bonus.
But you can do your bonus if you like.
Bonus action. Yeah, I'll do bonus action Hawk Spirit Totem for
Okay.
Shepherd. So, so reactions against attack rolls and additions, advantage on perception checks.
Yeah.
Just out of protection, I'll put that down. So, boom, keep an eye on this mofo.
That's all this all happens at the same time.
Yeah. Okay then.
Fate, with his now mangled arm
Good.
and slightly bleeding cheek, looks concerned. And he turns to all of you and says, "How dare you! How dare you! I am the DM. I'm the creator of this game that you play. And you're attacking me?"
Yep. Yes.
We're all meant.
Roll for performance. Yeah, I got a good performance over here. I got a 13 performance.
We were all
Which one's
meant to have a
successful?
good game. We were all meant to have fun, and you've ruined it.
Only you were trying to kill us.
It's all
That's
part
not
of.
fun for us.
It's okay, just dance.
I'm not gonna do that, Kira.
Oh.
And all these people are getting in my way. First, this petulant child.
Who?
And he points towards Aura. Well, he's obviously pointing towards Aura.
Sure.
Then Avenia, who was my cohort, my play companion, decided to step in and make the game more.
Piss all over you.
Well, I can't hurt any of you for now.
You can't. It's a shame. We can hurt you. Probably time for you to go.
Can we not?
What?
Hurt
him.
anyone?
I mean, we could, but he's tried to hurt us, so... Tried killing us.
It's just a misunderstanding.
I'm sure
I'm
it
currently hurting everyone.
isn't. Yeah, no, you're not. I'm not within 30.
Yeah, I've probably fallen unconscious now because of him.
Probably am.
I'm not even joking, I've only got 20 HP left. I only had
I'm
20
at
HP left before this.
I got full sauce.
And Fate will simply say, "We'll stop the game today, shall we?"
How are you going to do that?
And he'll sort of disappear, phase out, basically.
Wall collapses for radiant damage.
I'd say no for now.
Like Bellatrix style.
No, it's not. I love
That's
distraction.
30 seconds.
No?
No.
Of damage you
Okay,
can have.
fair enough.
You mangled his arm. but you
Yeah,
had
it's
to do
been more
that.
than 30
I want to kill
seconds.
the fucker. He's trying killing me.
Well,
I don't take kindly to nearly being killed.
And then in that moment, Viola sort of like falls to her knees and goes,
Big.
What was that? What the hell was that?"
It's next level shit.
I don't know what's going on, but
In honesty, neither do I.
And she turns to the aura and says, what do you want to do about her? And points over to Winnie, who is still pinned to the wall. And Aura will say,
oh shit.
Aura will say, she just wants to play a game. And she'll sort of like click her fingers, and Winnie just sort of just disappears.
Where'd she go?
I sent her to a different game for now.
Huh. Okay then.
My life isn't a game.
Yeah.
And Viola will say, well, that was the first time that I think I'm starting to believe that whoever this fake person is...
Out of character, when can I, like, how far away is the Theorus?
You are currently in a different pocket dimension.
When we return.
Yeah, you would be where the dwarves are. So there's the whole human continent and the poison bridge between you and Aetherius.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
You can pray like any normal druid would. I'm giving you that option.
Oh, Aetherius, please answer my questions in this conflict.
And so you all agree to move to go basically back to Finralda, probably.
Yeah, let's go home.
Yeah, Aetherius, please.
Let's all go to the city of the dead.
Let's go home first. It's not a fair
We
day.
Right.
need Diana for that.
Viola says, we'll need to collect Diana, and I am tired.
Where is Diana?
And she's back in Finralda.
Then brilliant. We need to go there. We make for Finralda.
Okay. And as you leave the portal, what would you like to ask Aetherius?
Questions and assistance. One, to safely return back, that's a priority. Two, what is the relevance of this fate character once and for all? What is this concept of the game? What is this concept of this cycle? What is the relevancy?
Aetherius will say, this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
I'm guessing, am I going to believe that?
I mean, why would your god lie to you?
I don't necessarily worship Aetherius. I got
You can
given a
then-
calling for healing.
Then based off the voice, roll insight.
Hell yeah. We have a... Oh no, that's so 11.
So you ask her about fate.
Yeah.
You ask, what else do you ask her?
Well, for safe passage back.
Yeah?
Thank you.
She can happily do that. About fate. She, based off that role, you believe that she doesn't know who Fate is. Although she has heard his name before, but that was when Amy was being attacked. So this is the second time she's heard the name. And anything else you're asking her?
Other than safe passage back.
Are you mentioning anything that you found? Are you mentioning Aura? Are you mentioning what Avenia just did?
The closer she'll have a starting path with this fate, but other than that, not really.
Okay, then in which case, she sounds serene. She sounds honest. Based off that role.
Yeah.
You all head back to Finralda.
Yeah.
Takes you about half a day, well, a quarter of a day to get back to the Dwarven city, and then you will take the portal back to Finralda. So it'll take you about just over a quarter of a day. You all get back to Finralda, and I'm assuming you are all exhausted.
Shit, I'm tired.
Viola turn to all you and say, I will return to the headquarters, and I will examine the 2 memory sticks that we found.
Yes.
And I will also examine Aura.
Okay then.
How? She's translucent. How'd you examine her? How'd you bring her?
You notice at this moment
that she is currently holding Aura's arm. Well,
How are you
hands.
doing that?
I just told her to come along with us, and she seemed quite happy to. It seems like she's in control of whatever she's doing, so she can be incorporeal and incorporeal whenever she wants.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll hand it back to the headquarters. We have a lot of research to do. We'll have to find out about the shield as well that are protecting the Seekers.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll first have to deal with the City of the Dead and getting Diana's champion
City
weapon.
of the Dead. Do I recognise that name?
Yes. Aetherius would have said the Seekers live beyond there. And I want you to roll a history check.
Just getting that down. History, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, not religion. Are you sure? Triple dog, sure.
Yes.
Oh, why though? Religion. Oh, fuck! I have proficiency in that. Yes! And so that is a 18.
You're on history.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
No, that was religion. That was religion.
Nuts.
History was... Oh, history is 12.
That's still
Okay,
good.
that's alright.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
I know it's not, but it's still good.
The City of the Dead rings a bell. Aetherius mentioned that the Seekers live beyond that, and she also mentioned the champion weapon. You also vaguely remember an old story where the Angel of Death did her experiments there before turning into the Angel of Death.
Then you also say that the last piece of the champion puzzle was there, like it was a chain or something.
Yes.
Can I tell under which god this is? Or...
Oh, the Angel of Death. She is currently under the domain of Dragel, the god of death.
Yeah, I thought so. Always good to check.
She's basically
God
this
damn.
right-hand woman.
I got a bad feeling about this gang.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it's never going to be fun going to the City of the Dead.
Yeah, my goddess of life would agree with you, Garvio.
What would you prefer, the City of Monsters, which we walked past, or the City of the Dead?
To be honest, the City of the Dead.
Neither.
The City of the Dead.
Really? Over monsters?
Two sides of the same coin, my friend.
Oh.
Right. Would you like to continue? Because currently now you'd be heading into a week's downtime.
Whoa.
Wow.
I want to tell my chronomancer to help
I
me
want to think about
clean
what I
the
want to be
house.
doing that
Okay.
week's downtime.
I'm going to think about what I want to do in that
Hell
week's
yeah,
downtime,
that week
yeah.
downtime you can
So
get a lot.
So you want to have finished here.
I think it's probably a good one, isn't it?
Um,
For a week's down,
I
yeah.
literally can't think of anything. Can't
Always
what
a
to do.
I want to think about that.
Always a feat.
That's
It depends on your definition of a downtime.
you-
mean as a DM. A feat is 400 hours.
I
Like, almost thinking about this
I always do
campaign.
dice rolls, or
Nice.
That's
nice.
better.
I always do dice rolls.
Adam is mean with
Different
it.
people, different
Yeah,
different
yeah,
ways.
it's still good. It's still good.
For me, I do skill checks, and depending on how good your skill checks are,
Yeah,
depends on
similar
how
to
long
me
it
there.
takes.
Yeah, similar to me.
I've
there.
never DM'd, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll leave this for
Yeah,
next
nice.
session then.
I also do crafting in a similar way.
Well, I do-
Skill
I-
checks with
Nice.
depending on the skill checks depends on the time and how much money it
I
costs.
mainly do hours,
Because
but
if
I
you do a low roll, you've just wasted a bunch of materials.
I mainly do
well, in
that,
that one,
but
you destroyed all your materials and all your work.
I mainly do that, but I mean, your roles could possibly like help a bit or otherwise. Yeah, it depends on what and the what and the what.
But it also means that allies then can also help you train by also adding in their own rolls to it and helping
Yeah.
you cut down on time as well. But they could also hinder if they get low rolls. Is what I do.
Okay.
What's that?
I will sort out the mechanics for your new abilities.
Nice. Do you need our character sheets?
If you give them to me on Facebook.
I'll make
So
it
we have a
difficult.
week downtime.
You have a week's downtime, and I will work out the kinks in your new abilities. I already have an idea for two of you.
Oh, really?
I mean, Stu, I might talk to you about swapping out Kira for a bit
You're at rest.
if it's a good opportunity.
I
to do
just
so.
got the feeling that you wanted to do that earlier today.
Hmm.
So if you want to swap around and have a break, that is fine.
If it's a good opportunity, that's the only.
You have a week's downtime. You can just simply. Kira goes off and does ethereous things. Like
Yeah, well,
Ty
this is
went
the
off
thing.
to do
Yeah.
halal things.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. No, I still want to play. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just-
you can. So
Yeah, it's what I'm
Yeah,
potentially
yeah,
doing
'cause
before.
so
I've had a habit
your
of swapping
cat
out
knows.
characters before. That's the thing.
It's your Kira is essentially a nomad, so she
Yeah,
can reappear
yeah.
and disappear whenever she
Well, yeah,
wants.
this is the thing because she's already healed Aetheris. That was her. That
Goal.
was her whole thing, and now it's like okay, that's done, and now it's like she's kind of free to reign, kind of.
This week.
And her, like, in my natural brain now, truly, if I worked out what she would do from this point onwards, despite the goal, would to be reconnecting with family. And possibly with that in mind, it might be a good idea to let her have a bit of a break.
Okay, so she'd be going back to Pennyfall then.
Possibly.
Well, yeah.
It might be a more fluidic option for her. But I don't know, we have a week to work it out.
So I've already done your mechanics for your
Oh,
character,
that-
but obviously you're swapping your character out.
I haven't decided 100% yet.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Okay.
This is the longest period of time we've ever spent in Finraster, isn't it?
No.
No,
We
we
were there
had
for
two
couple
weeks.
weeks when we first started.
Yeah, when you did the tour, there was a week before and after the tournament, I believe, that you had
Right.
to downtime.
Okay.
Speaking
But
of
we
which,
hadn't really shouted about ourselves then. had we?
No.
Okay.
Oh my
I'll have
god,
a chat with you.
I could play as a Dragonborn, like, educating Ron. That would be fun.
Cool.
That'd be
Nice.
fun. I mean,
Spitball.
I don't know, like, it's a weird one.
it's up to you. I am happy for you to swap out.
Mm.
But with everything that happened today, I know it was draining. Or was it?
No.
Yeah, it was
Holy crap,
heavy
I mean,
today.
Yeah.
it was.
Joyce,
I
obviously.
wouldn't call it draining.
No.
I wouldn't call it draining.
Heavy. First few episodes of an anime heavy.
Yeah. I can see.
Oh, you sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Because the issue that I was having was
Okay.
already Fate has broken the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Juanita's
Yeah, no
broken the
shit.
fourth wall
Yeah.
previously.
Yeah.
And Avenia has hints of doing it.
Mhm.
So I was like, should I just lay it out all in the open and just get it done with, or should I do it incrementally and have the characters work it out themselves? So I just thought, because of the other campaign, you may eventually learn things. So I thought,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, of course.
fair
There's
enough.
always
So I
a chance of that with the other
Yes.
campaign.
yeah. So I thought, fuck it, just lay it all out.
I actually really like the other campaign as well.
I'm enjoying both.
I'm really
so,
excited about the campaign. My gnome, I brought I brought back my goggles back from London, so
Like I said, if ever you want to play the other one instead of this one, I don't mind. We can take votes every session.
Is
if
it
you
an
like.
idea then
Hmm.
to go next week? We do Star Delvers.
Yeah.
So we've got sort of 2 weeks out of character to think about things.
I don't know.
Because it gives you good time as well to think of things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does that make sense?
No, I hear what you're saying. Let's see what Aiden thinks.
Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy playing Peacock, and you would.
Fair.
Alternating weeks on potentially space delvers and time delvers.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Or even as just
I
a
think-
one-off,
I think
all of
what
us
we all
be in the
should
same
do-
room for Star Delvers.
I think what we all should do is work out
Actually, I'll
what
stop
we want to
streaming
do.
now. Bye.
I think
Bye, guys.
Ciao.